Hello and welcome everybody to the arena, the Open SR division. I'm Hella, I'm joined by Fralix, and I have to say I'm very excited for this tournament to get underway. Our first round of matches will be starting in a moment's time, and we'll be joining Pixies and Everfrost in their first game.
Indeed, we are, and this tournament is special because there is a prize pool, and the sponsor of it is Community Gaming, the all-in-one platform to host tournament, and um, really appreciate the support to the tournament, and yeah, um, looking forward for the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great for them to reach out to us and for us to have a mutual partnership with them and to sort of be the beta testers, as it were, for Overwatch on their platform. We are the first organization to be running an Overwatch 2 tournament on their platform, and they are listening to our feedback as well. So anything you have or pick up when you're using the platform as a player, or staff as well, just do reach out to us as well, because they are very receptive to constructive feedback as well. So this is a really good learning process, not just for us but also community gaming. So really appreciate everything they've been doing with us, and looking forward to potentially a long running future partnership, and obviously the aim of to bring these arena tournaments every month for you guys.
Yes, indeed, and we have 13 teams battling it out over these 2 days, today and tomorrow. And the finals will be tomorrow afternoon, I believe. Yes. Um, we as you said, uh, we have Pixies and Everfrost EOS to play two teams who I believe doesn't or hasn't played in a Arena 51 tournament previously. So new faces.
Yeah, new faces to us, and a lot of these teams will be being coming from the outreach through community gaming as well. They really did a good job advertising our tournaments, as with our own staff team doing the marketing. So it's got to be said, they've done a great job, and it's really exciting to have a whole heap of new teams. So huge shout out to the marketing team over at Community Gaming. Huge shout out to the marketing team here in A51. I know Jess has been doing a lot of work, particularly making sure that the everyone knows about the tournament and could sign up if they wanted to. So really looking forward to it, and glad to have so many exciting new faces in the tournament.
Yes, indeed, and yeah, it's an open SR bracket, so teams of every SR is free to join in here, and yeah, we see a pretty variable SR average from all the way from 3.6 all the way up to 4.5. So there is a lot of variation, even though it's because it's open SR.
Yeah, it is good to have some of those lower teams feeling confident to come and give it a go in these bigger tournaments. You're going in at a 3.5k average. You're not looking potentially to either go and win this tournament, but the amount of valuable experience you're going to have playing against some of these higher teams is going to be invaluable in itself. And yeah, what a better way to spend your weekend than to be playing in a tournament as well. It's a very exciting time. Speaking of the SR averages, I can confirm now that Pixies is looking at that 3.9 K level, while Everfrost looking at that 4.3. So we're going to see a bit of a potentially a bit of an imbalance here between the teams. Pixie's going to be coming into this as a bit of an underdog, while Everfrost being that sort of more GM level team, just be a bit stronger, be a bit more coordinated as a team, and potentially if there's any subs, whether that makes any difference as well.
Yes, but you have to remember that SR isn't everything. That's why we see this stream SR, and Pixies could as well be streaming 4.5 and or even higher, 4.5, and while Everfast is streaming like 3.3. It's there's synergy and there's more variables than just the SR. Maybe they can abuse some really good maps that they feel comfortable on. So it even though there's an imbalance in player SR, it's not everything, and there maybe even there's players who don't really like to play comp, who prefer to just play play in scrims and yeah, and don't really grind comp that much.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing as well. It's like what gets you to 4.3? Is it the meta comp or is it a comfort pick heroes? It's a bit off meta. I imagine getting to 4.3, you'd be a bit more fluid with the meta and be a bit more adapt at switching to the meta. While as at a 3.9k team, you might be an absolute beast on specific heroes and actually hit that 3.3, 3.4 level. But because they're not as flexible, might not be able to adapt to new metas. That being said,
Yeah,
it is worth saying that Pixie's lineup is pretty strong, even with that 3.9k average SR. Their tank player and Con peaked 151st on tank this season. So that is pretty big. And there's like again, Panda Boy, a hog one trick getting to number 41. That is that is some insane stats from these players. Maybe playing off a little bit more uncomfortable role, but it does show that there is some serious quality on these
yeah,
lineups.
there sure are. And we are on this new patch, where, the Overwatch patch that they play the finals on. So where we saw basically one composition for the most of the time. Heller, what do you think? Are we going to see more of the moats too, as I like to call it?
I mean, I imagine we're going to see more of the Sojin, 100%, and I think the Winston Kiriko combination with that is just ridiculously strong. Reaper as well has just been getting so much value. I don't see at this level we'll see too much variation. I would love to see someone pull out a completely off meta comp though. That would be absolutely amazing to see some variation in this play styles, get something unique going on the field. Anyway, you just saw pop up there the bracket view, just to see if any team that you're following today, where they're going to be, what games they're going to be playing, who they're going to be playing against, and potentially what's going to be happening for the rest of the day. In terms of what's happening on stream, we're going to be sticking with the winners bracket during the day, and then tomorrow we'll be doing the sort of losers bracket, sort of finals, semi-finals, and then grand finals as well. I think the winners finals is also tomorrow as well, just to polish things up. But yeah, so the way we do the stream schedule is that we move down the bracket, so we try and get a diverse range of teams on the stream as well. So if your team isn't getting streamed in this game, it doesn't mean they're not going to be streamed later down in the tournament.
Yes, indeed, and yes, as you said, first three games today will be a winners bracket, and the last one will be losers bracket. I'll be here for the first two. Um, Either way, in terms of more meta crafting, I believe that hard has been really quite strong, and you've seen in contenders some sort of anti meta comp with hard getting used. So maybe we see some team pull that up, or maybe even they try to do something fun with Ryan on his like maps, especially since May is back into the lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with May coming in, that's going to change it up a little bit. And yeah, I love the fact that Hog is being played again. Like everyone was memeing on Hog for ages, and then post patch Hog's actually viable again, just being that off meta pick. And yeah, this is going to be a really close game, I think, between these two teams. I think over for us with that SR overall SR advantage and the fact that we have a lot of Pixies players playing on uncomfortable roles or off roles here. There's a couple of shout outs to Am Pretty, who's a DPS Hanzo main, despite playing support in the tournament. So I think that might have an impact on that SR average. And actually, that number that we're seeing at 3.9 might not
Yeah,
actually be a true reflection of how good Pixies will be coming
Yeah,
in.
we've seen a bunch of DPS players picking up that Kiriko, for example, and doing really quite well, hitting these kunais in the head. Recently, this Wednesday, we saw how Luau jumped in on the support and performed wonderfully. We've seen the Overwatch League, Taro and Prophet playing this Kiriko, transitioning quite nicely. Um, so especially since Hanzo, his projectiles are quite similar, I believe, in terms of the travel distance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple as well, like Zenyatta as well as another one that can kind of be very similar in that sort of style. If you're used to Hanzo playing that projectile flex support hero, is definitely something that you could pick up reasonably easily compared to, for say, trying to pick up a Lucio. But I've seen so many DPS players pick up Lucio as well on the flip side, just because they just love to frag out on the Lucio, get some boots here and there.
I mean, if you transition from tank to a Lucio playing like say main ball, you just want to do the um, the ball funny
Yeah.
thingies on Lucio.
Yes, yeah, that's it, yeah. And oh, I'm really excited to see this first game of the tournament. Obviously, we're a little bit behind at the moment, uh, due to it being a brand new tournament platform. Due to a lot of teams that are new to A51 coming in, they're not quite familiar with the layout of where the tournament section is, and making sure everyone's got the right roles as well. We've got a really solid tournament admin team behind us today that's going to help all of those struggles and sort those out. So it's going to be a huge shout out to iGeneral and Adam, who's going to be in the back end sorting things out as the day goes on. I'll be joining them once I finish this cast for this first game, making sure everything's running smoothly as we can. But as we go forward, as we continue to develop this wonderful partnership with community gaming that we have, we're going to be building upon that platform. We're going to be learning how it works. We're going to be getting used to it. Things are going to be becoming more fluid. And yeah, it's just going to be overall a stellar tournament, this one. But just expect maybe one or two teething problems.
Yep, and yeah, first map, Esperanza. So push. Are we are going to see for the first map, and yeah, more open. I really don't think we'll see any Reinhardt here. If I have to make a prediction, I'd say It's more of the Overwatch League, Overwatch League comp with the Reaper Sojourn Monkey Kirito Lucio. I believe we will see on this map. Anything else will be a surprise, in my opinion. We'll probably have a look. Maybe, hard. Maybe we'll see some hard, but Ryan is pretty much off the picture here.
Yeah, absolutely. It is going to be Esperanza, and again, this is a development for our production team as well. And we do have some map scenes for a lot of the maps in Overwatch, but this is not one that we currently have made just yet. You will see a couple of new maps that we have made. We just haven't got around to finish them up. But yeah, this is Esperanza. It's going to be a wonderful way to start a scrim on a push map. Let's see what the comps are going to be before we make any sort of rash estimations.
Okay. I've seen this Ryan comp with the Bastion, Sojourn, Lucio, and then Bap. I've seen in scrims. But I just think these teams will default to the meta comp. Thing is with Esperanza is you need to win two fights and then you basically are set for the checkpoint. But it seems that Pixies are going to be sticking on this rank comp. I really like it. I want to see how it goes. The hard thing with Bastion is that after his 6 seconds of configuration tank, he has 12 seconds where he does virtually nothing.
Yes, yeah. I mean that is an issue with Bastion. But it's not an issue with Pepjin on the Tracer here, getting around the back line, trying to flank out. But they have a really good position here with the Bastion set up as well, and they're going to get this cart moving forward. They're going to get into that turret position, and as you say, this is where they are a really strong hero. But obviously, when they switch back, they're in trouble.
Yeah, there is a Hard on the other side though, so it's not boring from them either. A Hard who is getting chased down and pinned and probably going to get killed here.
Yeah, it's a really nice pin coming in there. They're really aggressed onto that hog, take the hog down. The robot though has been stolen and is on the way to pushing the cart for Everfrost. But Pixies here coming out with the first sort of couple of picks in this fight, going to get this robot moving again towards their payload. But they're still getting a little bit of peppering here from Pepjin, and it is going to cause them a little bit of a stall here. There comes a huge charge again. Oh my goodness, a massive charge coming through from Ancon, and this is where we're seeing that Rhine play that we saw from their profile, just coming through and just showing everybody that Rhine is a viable hero right now.
Yeah, Ryan is a viable hero. One thing that that most people haven't caught on to yet is that there's actually a Tracer bug in the game where her range is a bit bugged, where she can now one clip from 20 meters range, I believe.
Oh, well, there we are. You heard it here first, everybody. There's a tracer range issue. But anyway, Ziff coming in on the Winston now, trying to change things up. Against the Bastion might be a little bit strange, but because of that new rework to Bastion, it's more viable than it was in Overwatch 1, and due to the support of Kiriko as well, just having so much strength. But again, that's a huge shot coming through, and Ancon takes down Pepjin, slamming them straight to the grave. And they're going to follow up with a couple more picks here as well. And Pixies are looking strong right now. They're just holding this cart for as long as possible. Everfrost to deny as much progress as they possibly can. And they're doing a good job of stalling that out.
Yeah, and there will be staggers here as both Sorrow and Takuno is full, or Takuno with the TP is able to get out, but Sorrow gets staggered, and that's going to be a long, far spawn. So even more progress for the side of Pixies, whose Bastion drop I really like and has done really wonderfully. And Sif caught out of position low, but probably will get out here.
Yeah, they're going to come in with the artillery strikes as well here, but they're unable to really find any value from it. It is a slow ultimate, probably one of the weakest in the game currently. But I'll tell you what isn't weak, and that is the tank configuration here. The turret configuration now being able to move is just burning through tanks and the DPS line here, and that is going to keep that cart moving for Pixies.
Yes, and Ankin on the point, falling really low, has Lawrence as a pocket. There's not that many left, merely from EOS, and I'm pretty gets 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty getting 2 picks there as well. We're also going to get Ziff on the Winston, getting a lot of damage and unable to survive for too long. But
there's a shatter.
Yeah, just the cleanup coming through.
Wow, they're just melting through the side of EOS, of Everfrost, as they go along. But now ults are dried up, Sorrow with an overclock, so there's quite a large ult advantage. So let's see if they can capitalize on that here to stop the bot, because it's 1-5 territory to a completed map for the underdogs on paper.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're going to have this overclock from Sojin of Zorro here, but is it going to be enough? No, not on its own, but Ziff comes in, finishes off Panda Boy, and without their big source of damage, they are going to actually lose this fight. The first fight lost for Pixies in this game.
Yep, the first fight lost, and now more ults available, and yeah, let's see if they can keep the ball rolling and get some progress of their own. Good spawns are in order for Pixies, and they will be able to intercept the bot quite early here.
Yeah, and then the Winston uses the jump to get up onto the high ground, and actually gets denies the death boss in there just by hiding behind the wall, and that is a big waste of an ultimate right there. Panda Boy going to use the artillery strikes here, and that is going to land around the car. It's not going to find anything, unfortunately, but it is going to leave the Kasuni Rush coming out as well. They're really aggressing onto this. They are going to take down Panda Boy, but that Reinhardt is still alive and finally falls, and now with the beat as well, just to solid things up. That is going to clean up nicely there. Both beats used.
Yep, but that's pretty costly fight for the side of Everfrost. They use 3 ults, only 2 used for the side of Pixies, and with the Lucio dying last, it's the fastest character on the team, so we'll be able to intercept this bot before they get to the checkpoint, and with both a Shatter and a Overclock, in addition to this Kitsune, this will be a terrifying fight to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute rushing storm coming through. There's a solo Shatter, and that's going to be worth it, taking down the Kiriko. That's a lot of your support line gone. And now they're going to have to use the Primal to try and keep things alive, try and stall out this car. But is it going to be enough on its own? Pepe Jin is going to find Lawrence, and that's going to tie things up. Zoro taking down Spy as well. And this is actually turning out to be quite a good fight turn coming in from Everfrost. They're finding their groove now.
Yeah, and crucially, they only needed to use the Primal there. Whilst Pixies used both the Shatter, the Overclock, and the Kitsune Rush, they Everfrost only needed to use the Primal, and now their ultimate economy is in a very good state for them to keep on snowballing this and get even more progress.
Yeah, the first thing to come out is that Overclock coming in. Is it going to find anything on its own? Or is it going to require just that? Is it just going to be a space creating ult? No, it's not. It's going to take down the Lucio, and it's going to lead to another fight. And actually, Spy getting the headshot there with the railgun wins that Sojin duel. But it isn't going to be enough, unfortunately, to save Pixies from another lost fight here. But economies.
Yes, indeed. And now we see. Oh, we still haven't seen any swaps. They probably should consider at least swapping some of their pieces up, maybe swapping for a Reaper instead of the Bastion to get even more consistent damage. But what am I to say?
Here comes a Kasuni Rush. They're going to rush straight in. There's a Shatter coming down from Ancon, and that is going to take a big heap of damage out, but it's not going to be enough on its own. Spy is going to be the one to finish up the clean job on that Shatter, and that is going to lead Pixies into a fight win in an area where they really shouldn't have won.
And no, they really shouldn't have won that. The Beyblade is used, and now we see another switch in the ult economy, as the ults is now on the side of Pixies, who has plenty of resources for the next fight. And when we see this pincer, again coming in and an early beat used.
Yeah, sort of a really good aggressive fight take here from Everfrost. They weren't messing around. They just went in as 5, and they jumped in, used the correct number of ultimates there just to clean that fight up as efficiently as possible. Get that robot moving again.
Yep, they used the beat, and they were able to get a quick pick onto Panda Boy, and thus, basically winning the fight by virtue of that pick. And now Zoro getting Spay as well, so that will mean even more progress on to the point, because you can't go in without your Sojourn, who's the most impactful DPS on the team. Now it's into lost fight territory, and almost 5 also ready for Pixies. This will be a hard fight for Everfrost to win.
Yeah, it's going to be here or never for Everfrost to try and win this. But Pixies, if they use all their ultimates and they still don't win this fight, they're going to find it very hard to come back. Primal's going to keep Ziff alive, but is it going to find any value on its own? It's not really finding much to now. The Shadow comes down with the artillery strike combination. Works brilliantly, taking down Nelio. And now the aggression coming through from Pixies is going to be met with a Kasuni Rush on the side of Everfrost, and they're going to struggle to get through this extra damage. But this fight is going on and on and on, and Ancon is staying alive during this entire fight. battling out, being the one to hold the car, and that advantage with the spawns here from Pixies might just give them the edge that they need in this sort of overtime fight. Things are getting close now. A lot of ultimates are just used as and when they have them. No one has any ultimates right now to be the difference maker. It's going to require an individual play. There's the shatter coming down from Ankon, but it goes straight into a bubble. Unable to find anything. Ankon gets taken down. Zorro with an absolute beautiful play there. Going to take down that aggressive Rhine. And now the beat comes out. Going to keep everyone sustained up on the side of Everfrost. Pixies have got nothing to deal with this. Ankon switching over the ball, trying to get back in. And it's not going to be enough. Pixies do get their Kasuni rush down, but is it going to be enough? No, Pemberton finds a pick onto Lawrence this time. And there you go, Zorro cleaning up on the couple of remaining members here. And that is now just the ball to touch the car and stop it from moving for just a little bit longer. But that car is going to reach the end, and that is going to be the end of the map.
Wow, this is really... this is really a banger. They should not have won the fight. They were in such a all disadvantage getting into the fight, but Pixies weren't able to finish the fight soon enough. And as the fight went on, they were able to farm their own ults. And the statement almost always goes, the later ults always tend to win the fight. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was just really strong performance there. They used all their ultimates and managed to sustain and survive all of them. Even the Shatter artillery combo, which was a really nice combo coming in from Pixies, but it wasn't decisive enough. And they managed to take that first map. So Everfrost taking the series 1-0 so far. Obviously, it is a first to 2 series. So we'll be going into our next map soon, see if Pixies can make a fight back. But this just goes to show that even the SR disparity is there between the teams, that Pixies is not going to be a pushover for Everfrost.
No, they are not. And as the thing is that the Shatter artillery combo was executed brilliantly in my opinion. But the thing is, there's a an ability called cleanse. That can shut it completely down, which it's a really wonderful cleanse for the side of Everfrost that saved everybody except for the Lucio from that combo.
Yeah, it's like an OP version of Baptiste Immortality Field, isn't it? Really, it only lasts for like 30 seconds, half a second, but that's enough.
Yep. No, it lasts for more than half a second. It's lasts for too long. Way too long. Like you say, I'm going to get this pick. No, cleanse. And now when cleanse is over, the person you're targeting is in full health. Again. So yeah. And the fact that you can't even damage people when they're affected by the cleanse is so annoying. So annoying. Whilst with BAP Immo, you can still damage people.
Absolutely. But anyways, we'll be going through to a second map soon. Obviously, teams get the losing team, I think, picks the map. We'll be going to a next map here. King's Row will be our next map.
Yep, and it's loser's pick. I think it's loser's pick. I believe.
With Pixie's comp, there was only one map that they were ever going to pick really for this hybrid collection here. So it's going to be exciting.
Yep, Stream's Throw, as people like to call it, the classic stream map. Although I'd wager is Legion Tower that people play the most.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Lijiang Tower is simply because it's the default map on the COW code, right? So when you open it, it's just there and you forget to change it. But it is also a good control map, so I can't doubt it. But anyway, King's Row. More about King's Row. It's tight. It's got narrow corridors. where it's renowned for the brawl compositions, and I want to see if
Yeah.
Everfrost are going to bring out a brawl composition of their own, or whether they're going to stick with the meta comp.
The thing is, the meta comp is a brawl of its own. It's supposed to play like a brawl. It's playing like a brawl. So, I mean, it has the playstyle of the brawl, but as we saw on this previous map, they were able to basically move their way around the Reinhardt, which will be a bit more difficult on this point in particular on this map, but it can definitely be done. So I'd say that seeing this overall meta comp is, yeah, I'd say that they can really do that, and they may try it, but if they want to go for the Reinhardt mirror, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the Reinhardt duel. I think it'd be very exciting for everyone watching as well. But you know, there is money on this line, courtesy of Community Gaming, of course. You know, the $100 split over the top 3 positions in the tournament. So they're probably going to play something they're a bit more comfortable with, something a bit more unique. And actually, what are we witnessing right now?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I like going into this, I'd say like we were saying we're going to see like some mostly rather like meta comps, like standard things. But here we're seeing Diva with Echo Mercy.
Yeah.
This is a real head scratcher for me. Although on the other side we see the same comp they used on Esperanza, only a Reaper instead of a Bastion.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to struggle to sort of get any value against this comp. They're just all over the place, and everywhere that they are not, they just have to play as a unit, rotate, get all the way round, and try and take control of the point from the reverse side. But I don't think they're going to be too successful. There's just too much like movement from Everfrost into the void. The only thing that they can really get to is Takuno on the Ana, and that's what they're doing right now. They're really chasing down Takuno on the Ana. And they're going to take down Pepe Jin.
Look at Spey. Spey gets the first opening pick, and that's not restable at all. And the Karma rests. Oh, what a rest, what a rest. Gets punished though, and with a beautiful charge that it will, the Pep Jin will get shut down again.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean, we get Ancon coming through on the Rhine, just charging through. They should rename their name to Bulldozer at this point. They are just steaming through.
Yeah, kudos for the kudos for the rest. And
anyway,
I believe we don't have comp rules on, so yeah. So we have some server issues here. We've encountered where the losing where the host has forgotten to put in competitive rules.
Yeah, we you saw there that actually the support of the Mercy is actually in the second slot in the lineup, and they hadn't. That was a giveaway. They hadn't actually put comp rules on, and I wonder if they're going to take note of the time and then give that first point over based on time, or whether they're just going to restart the map and go again.
Yeah, I mean, it would be quite unfair, as I mean, a bit unfair at least, as they got a really fast point A cap for the side of Pixies. I mean, so
yeah, I mean, I would expect the teams to respect comps as well. Like, start with the same comp that you started with. Just so you're not like, oh, they played that, I'm going to play this. You know,
I mean,
I'll do it.
I mean, thing is, I mean, it's I'd say it's a rough for Pixies. They really did a wonderful job in that rotation during the comp. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I'm sure we'll come to a conclusion soon and be back in the game in a moment's time. But until then, it's a great time to remind you about Community Gaming, our wonderful sponsor for the tournament. They are donating. They're sponsoring the prize pool of $100 for across three places. So $50 if you win it, $30 if you get second place, and then $20 if you get third place. So just getting into the top three, that $20 split between five people, you're still going to be getting a fair amount of a little bit of pocket money coming through. But yeah, it's pretty exciting to have a sponsor for our arena tournaments. But yeah, we're going to be going through and potentially building upon this as well. So make sure that you're followed. Make sure that you're in our Discord. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. All of those links in the command in chat. And yeah, we're looking to do these tournaments more regularly at different SR levels as well. So this one's open SR because the game's so new and a bit unstable still in terms of where people's true SR actually is. So we decided to go open first, but we will be doing some lower level tournaments as well. So don't worry if you're a gold player or a plat player, there's going to be a tournament for you at some point in the future.
Yes, indeed, and um, we are currently discussing or there are discussions ongoing whether regarding the what is going to happen. I mean, yes, we have confirmation that the match will restart, and the attackers pixies they will cap 1.5 minute in for fairness. So that's our report. So we'll be able to get in to the game. Uh,
Yeah, that sounds like the best way to go forward about it as well. It's good sportsmanship from the team that made the mistake as well to be like, hey, we made a mistake here. We've already started the map. It'd be unfair, and actually coming to the conclusion that we're going to do that 130 minute cap. The fact that Pixies actually managed to do that already, I think, is just really really good sportsmanship as well. For Everfrost to let them do that as well.
yeah. Um, yeah. Kudos to them.
Yeah. So while we're just sort of waiting for them to sort that as well, there's a couple of more things worth mentioning. That A51 is looking for casters and producers to join the likes of myself, Alex, and Dan, and the rest of the casters in the tournaments to come and join us during scrim nights during the week, and also therefore join in tournaments when we run them. The we don't expect any experience from anyone. For even if you just think about you want to give casting a go, that's absolutely fine. Still shoot us a message. And if you are interested in joining the casting team or the production team, either give myself or at SpaghettiOs in the Discord a DM. We're looking to build up our production to back up to 7 days a week again so that we can bring you more content. If you want your streams scrimmed and you're in A51, maybe consider casting or producing yourself so that we've got more casters and producers that we then have available to stream your scrim.
Yes. And with that message, we are now going into Chinzo. Assemble your heroes. So the first 1.5 map will be 1.5 minutes. Will be quite boring, just sitting around waiting for cap. I believe. Um. Yes. And there's I believe everything is working well here. Same team comms, and yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're just waiting for that cap. Obviously, going to be waiting down for that 1 minute
Yeah.
30, and then we'll jump in after that's happened and see how things go. Because obviously the fight will then continue from that first choke point on that second point. So
Yes.
right through the arch.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Everfrost's team composition here is that both the Sojourn and the Echo is really good at assassinating people. So like they are really good at like assassinating. And now we have a high festival. Can we get a dance party in here?
Stream's
Maybe.
not with you. Stream's not with you there, Fralex.
Oh,
we're just chilling. I mean, you're just giving us a commentary of the
yeah.
highs going on, which is it's not the most exciting content. Clearly, you'd much rather see myself and Fralex than a bunch of Overwatch heroes waving high at each other. That's far more entertaining, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
We see Karma's really good steals on the Mercy here, the new Mercy tech. So we have
absolutely,
a
yeah,
Mercy show.
yeah, and that new jump, super jump, that if you learnt the shortcut for before, like learned how to do it, and it was a bug, and they just kept it. Anyway, you'll notice something else I just thought I'd mention is I am wearing my my wonderful Gold Pack jersey from when I used to play in Gold Pack. It's even got the old A51 logo on the sleeve as well. So like I really got into the mood for it today.
And yeah, now they're capping, and we will have the map on our way once the cap has gone through. Really.
Yeah, this has been a really good sports.
Now we go! Yay! The map is a go again.
Yes, yes.
No ults available. Try to even ult charge. So yeah, they've just been standing around getting passive ult charge. We saw the first pick last fight from space, so let's see if they can if he can produce that again. Although Pepkin may be able to get some really nice sneakers into this team, as there's no diva to eat all of them.
Yeah, I mean the big difference here is obviously that because we reset, none of the teams have any ults on the board. So this is a brand new neutral fight, as if the game had just started, except it's a point in. So it's going to be hard to get to this choke point without like the ultimate advantage that you'd get from taking the first point as fast. But they're still going to be able to build ults very fast here.
Ankin getting put really low by the beam and the stickies. Pepin almost at the ultimate, and yeah, the defenders having the ult advantage now.
Yeah, and then Casino Rush comes through though. That's going to be massive. They're just going to go straight into the back. The bomb, unable to find anything, but Ankin and Spy just get two.
Arma,
two.
Master Mercy, they are really on it with the Valkyrie Battle Mercy.
Yeah, and then we got Staggers coming in as well here onto Takuno, just to slow things down on those respawns. For Everfrost, and that's just going to buy Pixies a little bit more cart progress and probably get them round this corner with the cart, and they're going to be making their way to the final corner of the second objective. Ancon going to take a lot of ground early on, try and get some space here, but that second corner there where Ancon is now not a good corner. Oh, Spy gets a headshot onto Pepe Jin as well. They're just continuously going on. But there is the overclock coming back from Zorro, getting a lot, and Panda Boy though coming in with the Death Blossom just says no more to that, please, taking down Zorro before they can get any more value with the overclock, and that's going to be an easy second point for Pixies, and they're going to be getting their way onto third point. They are down in the whole economy, but they got the second point.
Yep, no ult economy. The Kuno now going onto the Churiko. Maybe looking to get more value of that than Diana. He was previously on. We still have the copy that's available for Pepjin, so let's see what he can do with that. Copy's the Reaper.
Ziff going in deep as well on the Diva, trying to get some value there, and gets ranged out here, and the copy onto the Reaper unable to find too much in the end, and not even able to build up a Death Blossom in that time. But They just backed off. Well played.
Oh, yeah, they held shield and backed off, but now they have a Kirito ult here, a Kitsune rush, and we see Icon charging in.
Yeah, the rush just rushing through all the way into their backline. They're not going to take down any just yet, and it's actually Spy gets taken down first. Maybe aggressing a little bit too hard there. Ziff is getting focused down so much, but if they do get taken down, they can just use the bomb to get a remake, and that's exactly what they're going to do there. And Ziff actually taking down Lawrence with that as the stun onto the Rhine. Unbelievable.
Yep, Karma getting easier to pull out the Glock and getting some pings all the way out on 2, I believe they are.
Yeah, they are, and they're just showing Everfrost's strength in all around the board. And here goes Zorro with the overclock ability as well, trying to get some space here. Unable to find any value off it just yet. In fact, unable to do so. And Pixie's doing the smart thing there, just waiting out that overclock. Just going to buy Everfrost a little bit of time. And so far, it's a pretty good defense.
Yeah, they're just playing these hydras really wonderfully, not letting the Rhine into the close quarters that he wants to.
And here comes a Kasuni rush as well on the defense as well, and Panda Boy's going to be caught in the middle of it. There comes a Shatter coming through, but it's not going to find anything, and Ancon loses their life in payment for it as well, so a very costly Shatter for Pixies there.
Yeah, Ancon now mirroring the Diva pick. The Rhine clearly was not that well, just getting forces down from every angle. The Diva pick, I like it. He was generally good into monkeys, and the Zarya after the recent patch isn't best. So I really like it. Champion though.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to fight for this high ground. Both of them are up there. This is the most I've ever seen up on this high ground. But it does look like Pixies are going to be the ones getting control of the high ground. But that doesn't matter because Everfrost are going to be the ones getting the kill feed lighting up.
Yes, they are, and they didn't even have to use a single ultimate for that. Pepjin, Stickies does a lot of damage, especially when damage boosted. 4 ults available for Pixies. Pepjin chopping the Kuriko. This will be a rush, a quick rush.
Yeah, it is an Ancon losing mech on that high ground as well. It's going to drop down and going to get taken down very fast. And here is another rush coming through from Pepe Jin. Unbelievable on that duplicate, and with that is going to be another clean fight win. Everfrost really coming alive in this third and final point of King's Row, and it's really like hitting a brick wall with your Pixies.
Yeah, and they haven't even been able to use any ults here. They're just getting picked off time after time. So they have the mirrored Kiri Sojourn ultimates, but nothing gained.
Yeah, they've pushed in with the Kiriko ult, but they've pushed in so far that they're no longer in field of effect. Meanwhile, Pepe Jin coming through, getting so much value on this Echo, really finding damage in, and actually getting a couple of picks as well with a pocket from Karma, and that is just going to delete Pixies, and they are not getting anywhere further in this third point. A nice defense from Everfrost in the end.
Yes. Yeah, really impressive. They played those high rounds really well on this third point. Where one high round the Dio was on, one high round the Chirito was on, one high round the Soldier was on, and they just made an impressive crossfire, and the Echo just flying about with damage boost. Yeah, really well executed on this last point.
Yeah, they could really use the high ground advantage. It's a little bit more open in there than in the streets or even in the first point, really. There's too many rotations available to the Rhine. But in that final point, there's not really much that the Rush comp could go to. They got main and they've got they can go down side room on the right, but they can't get to any of the high grounds that they can on point 1 and point 2. So you really saw that composition from Everfrost that utilizes the high ground get so much value.
And now we see the meta comp for I was about to say the first time, but we actually saw it on Esperanza for a time.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what Everfrost can do on their offense instead. And
Yes.
we'll be pushing forward.
Yeah. Yeah, we see a hard comp again. Really interesting. They're backing up the hard up with both a Ana and a Kiriko. Really, the Kiriko really complements the hard very well. As any status conditions, there are not that many in this and the opposing comp, but they will get countered by the clans. Sleep on Spay and will get picked up as well. Huge opening.
Yeah, well, they didn't have cleanse. They used it already, and that was enough to capitalize. And now they're going to be pushing all the way into Pixies, and Pixies have got nowhere to run, and they're actually running towards attackers spawn, which is maybe not the best place to run to, but you know, just the supports here not able to really get out, and actually that's going to stagger them out to the point where Everfrost is just going to take this first point.
Yeah, they take the point. They will everybody no, and Lawrence doesn't even get dude spawn. He has to get taxied by the Ampridia. And we see Ankan though going over to the Risa. Risa is really solid answer for Hog. The Javelin is really good at shutting down all of Hog's abilities. Really, yeah. And we've seen it in this come from Dante a bit. But aside from the Javelin, Orisa is like quite last blaster though, especially when her cooldowns are up.
Yeah, but the Javelin itself is super strong, and she can have a lot of sustain and the survivability as well, which is what Hog offers, right? And if you're playing the Hog as well with an Ana,
Sorrow though.
So, Sorrow just clicking heads. I mean, if you click heads, it's going to Kiriko to a Kiriko here, but is it going to be enough? No, it's just going to be the rush from Pixies that just cleans that up, and they're going to get some defensive progress here and get a good control of the archway.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Ankin farming up the Terra Surge really quickly and actually getting a pick with it. That's the most surprising. Like the fact that Ankin was able to get a pick with the Terra Surge. That's not something that we see happen often.
Yeah, especially the time to charge to really get the value in. It just most people can get out of it by the time you think. But yeah, if you're pretty got a good team around you, you can get a good value. And Spy is going to be the one to start this fight off, and Panda Boy is going to finish it with a beautiful Death Blossom as well. And again, they're going to only use two ults, and take control of that window. And they've taken 2 ults out of Everfrost as well. So good fight by Pixies.
Sif now onto the Zarya. First time Zarya in this tournament. Again, we see Ankin really consistent in landing these javelins. Really has been playing really good on this Orisa as well as Reinhardt. Was a bit too aggro, I believe, in my opinion, on the Monkey as well as the Diva, but on the Orisa it's really coming alive.
Yeah, and here comes the overclock as well from Zoro. Zoro finding a pick early on and already here. Is going to get a Orisa in the face there. It's not going to be too fun, but there is duplicated Orisa by Pepe Jin, already taking down one, and here comes Spy, is on the floor, and there comes a really clipped surge there, and that is going to seal the fight, and finally Everfrost get through the door.
But boy, that was costly. That's okay. There was 2 ults. There was 2 ults to 1 used only though. So not that bad, I believe, for them. But a lot of clock has been drained, so you should really be happy with that defense if you are on the side of Pixies, and also are in order for them also as well.
Yeah, they're going to push right in. They're not messing around here. They're going straight in here. They have the Terror Surge ready to go as well, just to create some space on the car. They're doing very good strength, and they're going to go with the Kiriko Rush as well here, and they are going to take control of that cart right there. Zoro, though, does take down Pretty, and that's going to be a big pick. Panda Boy, though, is going to trade things up, taking down Zoro. There is the Terror Surge coming down. It doesn't find anyone, but it does create a little bit of space and a bit of time on that cart. And that is going to be Pepe Jin falling in the wrong place there. Ziff taking down Ankon. This fight is going one way, then the other, then one way, and then the other. Is back and forth. But who's going to come out on top? Ziff takes down a couple there, and that should be the fight in favor of Everfrost. But a very expensive fight.
Yep, Ankin now swapping back to the monkey. With Zarya is it's a really good answer. Is into in particular, and they will be able to get another fight here. So they still can defend this on point 2. No ults available, but they will soon be.
Yeah, going to jump in with the Winston, and that Winston's just going to be able to survive a little bit on point here. Needs to be careful of the Reaper from Pepe Jin.
Again, first pick.
First pick, indeed, and an overclock ready to go as well, but they don't need to use it. They are just going to M1 these peeps back to their spawn doors.
Team is now to push it to the golden box, and they will get the second map win. It's best of 3, isn't it?
Yes, it is a first of 2.
So they have almost 1.5 minutes to push it into the golden box of victory that will see them advance to the next round. And Zoro again.
Zoro with the overclock going in early, finds a pick onto Lawrence, but falls into the void. And Spy is the one to really show the overclock ability its true power, taking down 3 in that fight, and Pixie are 1 fight closer to victory themselves now.
Yeah, they are one map closer to, or 1 minute closer to taking their first map win. Again, 1 minute on the clock, both support also available, and almost a grab ready. Only a Primal and a Blossom for the side of Pixies though, so this will be a challenging hold.
Yeah, they're going to come in with the rush straight away, and the rush is going to push Pixies all the way back. They managed to disengage very, very well though, Pixies. They survive in this rush, waiting it out. They have the time. Thunderboy going to go for this Blossom on the support line, potentially over the top. Actually, needs to be very careful. Nearly gets taken down, but it's just going to unleash the Blade, but gets taken out by Zoro. Zoro comes to save the day for Everfrost, and now Pixies need their own savior, or they're going to be finding themselves in the losers bracket. Can anybody touch the point? No, they can't. What a beautiful final attack by Everfrost there, denying that Death Blossom. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Really, really close series. It was 2-0, but yeah, a really close series. We saw some varying tactics where picks were met with counter picks, and yeah, a wonderful match of Overwatch. They really was there to dance. As I tried to translate a Swedish expression into English, which did not work. Let me tell you that.
Oh my goodness! It was a brilliant match for sure. Pixies showing that 3.9 is still very, very strong and a force to be reckoned with, even against a 4.2, 4.3k level. And they can hold their heads high, knowing that they played very, very well in that match. And they've got the losers bracket to come. They're going to be dropping down into the losers bracket after this game. They're still in the tournament. They've got a chance to come back through and make it to grand finals through the losers run. So this is not over for Pixies either.
Yep, it is not indeed. So now it's next match. We are supposed to have interviews now, or let's see if we can get.
No, we don't. Unfortunately, there will be no time for interviews. But what we will be doing is preparing ourselves for our next match, which is going to be House Vikings versus Nyayum as well. If you would just check the brackets on who's won which games elsewhere in the brackets. So far, the other 2 games, Nayum beat Imperial Samurai 2-0. We've had Obsidian beat Yoinkers 2-0 as well. We're just still waiting results for Ethereum United versus C9H13N and Adderall. And we're also waiting on the results from SOS Afan Alarm and Team Moki. Yeah, that is the winners bracket for you there at the moment. Our next game, of course, on stream will be House Vikings versus Nairum, and we'll see you all in just a few moments.
Yep. welcome back to the Arena Open SR division. What now? I'm joined by Funky Monk, who's getting their funk on today with me in
Mm-hmm.
the caster's booth for this match, this upcoming match, and we are going to watch House Vikings versus Neom.
Yes,
Um,
I'm.
I did my personally favorite car impression, and
Mm,
just remember, sponsor of this prize pool is Community Gaming, the all-in-one host to online platform tournaments. Really grateful for that.
yes, I'm very excited to be able to cast Nyaum just because I get to say Nyaum constantly. It's going to be brilliant. It's never going to get old. I'm
Oh,
going to be like mid fight and then I'm just going to be able to do a car impression and then go back to the fight. It's just
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. But of course, House
Agreed, agreed,
Vikings
agreed.
as well. A fully Norwegian team. They have 8 players on their roster, but they only signed up 7. So make of that what you will. Many players in that roster peaking top 500. We have, Kane on DPS, peaked 107. Peak top 176. We got JP7 on support, peaked rank 60. Slicks on support, 250. And Chris on tank, also peaking 459. It And of course you can't forget to mention Ojin Pisk, who was rank 154 on tank himself. So really, just
Yep.
like a really high caliber of individual players on House Vikings.
Yeah. On the other side, we have Neom. On the side of Neom, we have they haven't really yeah, really haven't gotten as much in depth as House Viking has in terms of the players. Um, but yeah, still solid. They won their first match. So there's definitely a team not to be taken lightly. And yes,
Yes,
either way,
they did manage to secure their win up against Imperial Samurai, who I believe are they're a similar SR team. Imperium Samurai, apologies, a similar SR team, both around the 3600 range. Of course, this bracket is brought to you by Community Gaming, as you can see in the bottom right. Um, but yeah, it should be really interesting to be
yeah,
able to see how Niam copes with the, I'll be honest, spike in overall scrim SR, and whether or not they'll be able to keep up with some of the higher caliber players that we have on the side of House Vikings.
yeah, it'll be interesting. I know for a fact that Imperial is really quite good, streaming quite high for their SR. Have come to into fight with them a couple times myself, so they're not a team to be taken lightly. The ones that Neom was able to beat. So
Yeah.
still, they might be we might be in for another shock close match as we were the last one.
Yeah, of course, Nyaum also placing third place in the Farewell Tournament Masters bracket. They lost in the losers finals against Too Easy Glacial, who aren't in this tournament, unfortunately. But they did manage to kick out Ethereal Aurora and send resident Arena 51 team Budget Spitfire into the losers bracket themselves. So definitely not a team to be underestimated, I don't think.
No, they are not, and not at all. And yes.
Yes.
We see that Kane only plays only Genji. In his bio, if you want to call it that. Apparently, he always
Mm.
plays Genji, and to the port he only plays Genji. So, and with the recent nerfs, let's see if he actually is yet to play Genji at all really.
Yeah, we are yet to see Genji being played, and to be completely honest, I don't know if we even will. He kind of got pretty hard nerfed, actually. The nerf to damage is fine, generally speaking, but that nerf to the ammo count, I mean, that's, to me at least, as a Genji player, that's completely overboard. I mean, having to reload in the middle of a combo is, frustrating as heck, because you have to just keep meleeing until you kill the person. It's not fun at all. It completely ruins your flow. And of course, it reduces the amount of poke that he can do and reduces the blade farm time due to all of the reloading that you have to do in between it. It's really just, I don't like that nerf at all. I think it's overkill, to be honest.
Yeah, the nerf was really, really over the top, and when we still have such strong characters such as like Kiriko and especially Sojourn that's
Mm.
in the game right now, I feel like they did Genji dirty.
Yeah, we should be seeing Xmaz on Sojourn. Used to be the main tank player for House Vikings, but then, had a midlife crisis, and now he is the Sojourn player for that team. It should be, very interesting to see how that swap has happened and whether or not the Sojourn player will be, just playing Sojourn the whole time. I mean, there's no reason to not play Sojourn the whole time. She's completely overpowered.
Exactly.
So, not really much else to say on that front, I don't think. Another thing I will say is that Lax on the DPS also used to be a Minecraft YouTuber, which I think is a very interesting fact. Apparently, also the top 10 flamer of all time. So
Interesting.
it's a very interesting statistic. I don't know how they measure that.
And yeah, Slicks apparently always ends the match with 99% ult charge. So let's keep an eye out for that as well.
Yes, let us keep an eye out for that. You'll be able to see it in the, top section where all the ult charge is. We'll be able to see if that, sort of curse, I guess, holds true in this upcoming game. I'm not quite sure what the lobby status is at the moment, but we should be going in relatively shortly.
Yep. It looks like we'll have Colosseum as the first map.
Oh, very interesting. I do like the choice to have push be the first map because it does let us show off, brand new. This is the first Overwatch 2 tournament that we've, run apart from, that European one where we got all the orgs together and we held a tourney in the beta.
Yep.
That was great fun. I very much enjoyed playing in that myself. But this is the first one where it's just open SR. The game's fully out. We've got, Junker Queen, Kiriko, Sojourn as well, as we have mentioned as well. Just it should be good. Really, it should definitely be good now that the game is
Yep.
fully out.
Yeah, it looks like we'll have Kane in. So we'll see some nice Genji OTP action and probably some nice Sojourn OTP action if the player data is anything to go by.
Yeah, I for one hope that the Genji is able to sort of use the blade effectively, because of course if you're playing against that sort of what you have described as moats 2.0 and I describe as floats 2.0, that sort of Winston, Reaper, Kiriko, Lucio, I don't even need to say the other hero because you already know who she is, meta that we've been having so far. It's definitely very difficult to get anything done because either you play at range and try and poke and you get shot out by a Sojourn, or you try and go all the way in and you get shot out by a Reaper and a Winston who can just zap through your deflect. So that's the trouble I've been having. I'm a plat Genji with coming in, we're seeing a top 500 Genji, so it should be interesting to see how he approaches the matchup.
Yes, it will be really interesting if he even plays Genji. That will say. Either way, if we turn our focus to the stream, we see that Jezreel has been a true shad and has gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much.
Woo, go Jezreel! Thank you very much, Jezreel. Jezreel, obviously, our social media manager. You can see her work anytime you go on the Arena 51 Twitter, which I think the link is in the About section under, Twitter. The little About section with Arena 51 Gaming, the icon, then to the right of that, you'll find it. Maybe ! Socials as well. We'll bring that up for you. If you want to check that out, give us a follow. Please feel free to. It costs nothing apart from the insanity of being on Twitter.
Yes. It looks like we're going to have New Queen Street as our first map on the schedule. First map that we're going to play. Any specific comps you expect except for the Overwatch League comp? Who's that? I expect.
No, not particularly. I expect to see a lot of Soja and a lot of Winston. That's pretty
Yep.
much it. Of course, we have had people mention on stream that maybe this isn't the actual optimal meta comp for this patch. Maybe we'll see something new and exciting and interesting that is actually a better comp than this sort of floats 2.0 that we've been having at the moment. But you will hear in the background, we are going to New Queen Street. Honestly, I quite like the music for it. I think it's some of the best in the game, frankly. Also love the aesthetics of New Queen Street. I mean, I'm a sucker for, snow on any map ever, even though it blinds me every time.
Yes. I mean, if the last match is anything to go by, it's not the only team comp that can be used as. That was like the comp. We saw that a minority of the time, like not even half of the time. I believe we saw that team composition. And as it looks, it's going to be one side with the with the funny comp.
Yep, the funny comp.
Yes, the Overwatch
Our
comp.
favorite.
And it's going to be Nyom that wants to go fast with that comp. And we see a similar comp with Genji and Diva instead of Monkey and Reaper instead. On the other side, both of the teams rolling out onto the statue side.
Yeah, Diva definitely a good option if you're looking to shut down a Reaper and a Winston. We see now Kane going for a little bit of poke damage, just trying to farm Blade, get something done a little bit. Fista's gone very, very low early, and it will be Ojin Pisk taking them out. No shame. I mean, going all the way in, not unfortunately being taken out there for House Vikings, nothing quite there. But Ojin Pisk with the 3k, managing to find Hassan and No Shame in the process, almost finding Dragon Breath. Kane finishing it off there.
Yep, really well executed. Again, Fista going being a bit too greedy, getting into a vulnerable position without cooldowns on the Reaper. Now swapping over to the Tracer, probably looking for the backline. OG and Priest really doing a wonderful job.
I mean, you can't do much about going for a backline if you just get met on the flank with a Genji. With Kane managing to take out Fista early in the fight, this will create a lot of space now for House Vikings because Nyaum don't want to go in with a person down. Hassan will be trying to farm a little bit of railgun charge there, but nothing too special at the moment. No Shame dropping now, going all the way in, trying to engage a fight. Kane dropping very, very low to that railgun shot. The protection Suzu there coming out for Nyaum, but they are forced to disengage as they do not have the resources to take a fight at the moment, and we will see the cap coming through for House Vikings.
Yep, getting capping, fast spawns will be in order. Dragon Breath almost at the Kitsune Rush.
Yeah, but the first Kitsune Rush coming out from JP7, as well as Slick going for that sound barrier just to give House Vikings a little bit more to work with. 2 kills now coming out, almost a third onto the Lucio. Ojin Pisk finishing that one off. Fista dropping very, very low. It will be Jay taking them out at the end, and Kane with the headshot onto No Shame completes the team kill for House Vikings. A very strong showing.
Yeah, very strong showing. Axmas actually cancelling the Kitsune Rush of Dragon Breath with a well-placed railgun shot. Ults are very much in order for both teams. Really even ult economy in my opinion. I would say Kane with the blade, although there is a lead on the other side.
Yeah, Kane does have the blade. They'll probably be waiting for the beat to come out first, but Hassan will be using the overclock in this fight. The blade comes out, gets met by the beat, but No Shame does take out Xmaz first in the fight. No Shame managing to take down a low HP Kane. The fight still continuing. Hassan with that melee kill, and another one onto Slick. It's only Jay left alive, and Hassan will be looking for the finishing kill. They managed to find it, but actually No Shame, unfortunately, steals that last one with a melee.
Yeah, it was costly though, the fight win. They had to use 3 ults, only a blade used for the other side, so ult advantage is in the side of House Vikings, who now is placed well up on the high ground. Force spawns are disabled now.
Yeah, but they're all going in. No Shame having to use the Primal Rage just to keep himself alive, and it works out for him very, very well. Managing to take out Esmax in the process. Slick as well, not quite managing to stay alive in the face of that Sojourn. JP doesn't have any resources left available and will be taken out with that melee. Ojimpis staggered a little bit there at the end.
Yes, Ojimpis is getting staggered, and Force spawns. So they not it will be that far, but they have the high ground. No Shame is getting punished, and now it will be Neon backing off with the speed of light, and no else used.
Yeah, an excellent punish there from House Viking. Xmaz landing that crucial shot. Kane going absolutely ham on the backline of Nyam. They were trying to retreat, but you can't retreat from a top 500 Genji, my friend. That's just not going to work out for you. House Vikings now coming up on reactivating their forward spawns, and Nyam aren't in a position to recontest that. Forward spawn reactivation will go through.
It will, and Dragon Breath has the Kitsune. Probably will get it out this time. Kitsune Rush on the other side used for House Vikings.
Yeah, both Kitsune rushes out now, but it's the overclock from Esmaz that will be the one looking to make the difference here. Not quite finding anything thus far, but Kane will be the one to land the first pick onto Fister. All the peel coming out for Xmaz, but it's not enough to save Slicks. Hassan taking them out with the overclock. Ojimpisk, though, taking out No Shame, getting that crucial elimination onto the main tank of Nyam. All the dive now coming in onto Hassan, but the peel just isn't there, and Hassan managing to take out Kane with absolute heroics. Ojimpisk trying to keep this one going for as long as possible, but they just can't land a pick. Well, I say that as Ojimpisk takes out Hassan there, trying to keep this one going. Nyam on the Zarya composition now, trying to counter that D.Va with the beam. Fister with that pulse bomb sealing the fight in favor of Nyam, and House Vikings will have to back off here.
Yep, and really solid fight. A lot of progress gained for the side of House Vikings. They should really be happy with that. Slick, the last one to die, and with the Lucio speed, they will be able to get back into the fight quickly. Kane, not Blade, hopefully will get more value out of this one, but still, Chickens has a blade, has a beat, and is ready to use it to counter the blade. Vista though, Xmas is picked up.
Yeah, Xmas being picked off early is absolutely huge for the side of Nyam. They can just push off of this without having to worry about their heads being blown off by a errant railgun. Hassan though, being that errant railgun himself, managing to take out JP there as well. Fister with the melee kill onto Slick, confirming this fight for Nyam and even more bot progression for them.
Yeah, but they still have pushed the boss like half the distance that House Viking has. Exactly 100.00 meters, which is really impressive. Yeah, Hassan has been really impressive this map with these railgun shots, and now almost all 5 rolls are available for Neom, and yeah, they will probably be able to use it to great effect.
Yep, the Kitsune Rush coming in, and it will be Hassan with that first kill onto Kane J. Such low health, taken out almost immediately up. Actually, no, they get the TP out. My apologies there. Xmaz as well with the railgun headshot onto Chickens. House Vikings with the beat, trying to keep this one going. The grab coming out, as well as the Kitsune Rush for the side of House Vikings. The pulse bomb not quite finding anything. Kane, though, with the kill onto Hassan. Ojimpisk trying to find Dragon Breath, does manage to in the end. No Shame killing themselves with their own right click. Fister in the backline, managed to take out JP, will stay alive for a little bit longer, trying to get out as soon as possible. They will be taken out, I think. Yep, Slick manages to find that last kill. Absolutely chaotic team fight.
Yeah, chaotic. Chicken still holding on to the beat though, and yeah, must be really scared of Kane, or even ask Xmas with their ults, and want to save it for that. 2 minutes left on the clock, and advantage is on the side of House Vikings, but they're really treating us to a really nice match.
Yeah, very nice match it is indeed. House Vikings with no support ults, and Nyam with that beat, they're going to be looking to take out the Lucio here, but in fact, it is Kane who falls first. Ojinbis trying to compensate by trading backlines, but there's just too much healing for the side of Nyam. Well, there's not enough healing in the world that can save you from a Kiriko knife to the face. The bomb coming out, taking out chickens there. They are free to use that overclock now that the beat is not in play. Hassan going a little bit too deep there, gets punished for it with that overclock from Xmaz. No shame, just trying to use that personal bubble to get out alive, but the Sojourn just does too much damage, taking them out with that railgun headshot.
Now extra progress will be in. Kane still holding on to the blade. Chicken still holding on to the beat. Is it like a game of chickens?
Well,
played between the two of them.
Yeah, Chicken's really trying to save it there, but it will be the Kitsune Rush coming out from JP, and it might just be enough for them to win the fight. The Blade comes out as well as the Blade simultaneously at the same time. No shame, the only person who didn't get it, but it will be Kane to find Dragon Breath almost immediately with the aid of the Kitsune Rush. Attack speed increase. Xmaz taking out Hassan there. The Pulse Bomb not quite finding what they want there. It does manage to take out Ojin Pisk's mech though. Chicken's such low HP, trying to get something done here, but it will be House Vikings taking New Queen Street.
It will be, and yeah, it was really close actually. Not that of a dominant showing as you could. If you look at the SR, you can say, oh, it's going to be a complete floor wipe, but it was not. We see some really huge picks from both Fista and Mazan, actually, as well as some really good plays from the rest of the team to keep them in the fight for a really long time. But all credit is due to House Vikings, who made a bit more of an own unconventional team composition. Worked wonderfully.
Yeah, I really like seeing that D.Va against these sort of Winston Reaper comps. Of course, in the last patch, D.Va was just the de facto counter to Winston. And, of course, if you hold a right-click on a Reaper, what are they going to do? Right? They can't shoot for 3 seconds. They can't do any damage for 3 seconds. They have to get out, and that forces, a Wraith Form cooldown if they're low HP. Yeah, definitely, I'd say a good pick there from Ojin Pisk. Maybe just a comfort pick. But I definitely think that there is some strategy there.
Yeah, and something I want is like the last blade and last beat was held for like ages. I mean, I get that you don't want to give the Genji free value with the blade by using beats, but at the same time, by holding beat, you maybe lose a team fight that you could have won to get more progress. You know what I mean? And maybe could have used that in another fight to get more sustain to actually win a fight, and then they come back with blade and win the next fight. Just what ended up happening is they come with the blade with the Kitsune Rush, which made them be like the blade was like really like fast, and was able to melt down the was able to melt down the beat, the extra shielding of the beat. So it didn't really matter that much.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate for Nyam to hold on to that beat for so long and then for it to do, almost nothing in terms of stopping House Vikings from getting that full cap. What I will say, though, is that I quite like holding Blade just so that the enemy Lucio can't use beat. I think it's a genuinely viable strategy as a Genji player because beat is a fight-winning ultimate, but Blade is really not if you don't use it properly. So you either have, an ult that you could win a fight with, or an ult that you can definitely win a fight with. And that's trade-off is, very indicative of why you want to hold that blade for when beat is used. But we are going to go to King's Row. You heard Athena say it there, and we will be seeing probably the most loved map in the entire game for the second time today.
Yep. We are going to, and again, this is a map where you can play Reinhardt, and where we saw Reinhardt the last match used to really good effect actually, as they got it far. They got the chart far. They almost got all 3 points. Capped the first point with only 1/2 minute to use, but it's as it seems, it is going to be the same team positions. Kane on the Reaper instead of the Genji, though.
Yeah, the Reaper, it definitely is favored in this sort of more close quarters linear map. Where you can just chunk out damage at close range. You can still do that with Genji, but, you know, the flank options aren't as numerous as on a map like, say, I don't know, New Queen Street that we saw last time. But it is a kind of a shock to see Kane on Reaper because, you know, as we know, he plays only Genji. So this obviously is a match that isn't happening.
Yep, obviously isn't.
Yeah.
All in all, we see a somewhat mirrored composition. We see the D.Va versus the Monkey. Monkey will really get burst down by the D.Va, but on the other hand, D.Va after using the Matrix really is quite squishy and susceptible to damage from Reaper.
Yeah, well, speaking of susceptible to damage from Reaper, No Shame really feeling that pick coming out there from Kane. No kills yet for either side, but I think we will be seeing them relatively soon as either team decides to engage. No Shame, once again being chunked down, has to use the bubble in order to keep themselves alive. Niam now getting a little bit of egress onto point, but House Vikings are holding this magnificently. Jay getting forced out there by the Disruptor shot, but it will be House Vikings finding the first 2 kills and sending Niam packing back to their spawn.
Put in pistol, gets demacked. Oh, that's huge, that's huge.
Yeah, definitely something that you don't want to have when you want to fight is your D.Va to be demacked, especially when the spawns are just so close. But they did buff the ult charge for Colmec, so we will be seeing that relatively soon. I mean, they're already on 50%, but Niam do have a lot of space to work with, and you can see House Vikings know this and are backing away.
Yeah, 90% on the Colmec. Colmec will be up. They had to give up a tick though. Maybe even 2.
Almost the second tick. The second tick has been given up. House Vikings retreating a little bit, trying to get a re-engage going. The D-Mech coming out again. They have to do the self-destruct in order to remech, but it does manage to find No Shame. The Kitsune Rush as well coming out for House Vikings, but you notice there, Niam didn't use any ult, so they'll be perfectly happy to take 2 ticks in a dry fight.
Yeah, they got 2 ults and 2 ticks in a dry fight. That's huge. With 2 minutes on the clock, 5 ults in the bank, almost 5 ults in the bank. They should be able to seal this first point out in rather quick succession, actually.
Yeah, Hassan's going to be taking that high ground, looking for the angles with the overclock. Fister on that high ground there as well, trying to go for a bit of a flank, maybe coming in from a side, but both overclocks will be coming out to the engage onto the Sojourns, but it will be Hassan coming out with the Sojourn diff. The Death Blossom there, not quite finding as much as they might want to, and Chickens with the beat, securing this fight for Niao.
Yes, they are, and 3 ults used, is not an overcommitment in any regards, as they only use 1 more, and then the opposing team, and with the Kitsune Rush and the Primal, they should be able to have the resources to continue with this fight wins.
Yeah, the ult economy is definitely still in favor of Niam even after using those 3, because the closest that House Vikings have to their second ultimate is Ojin Piss on that D.Va, trying to chunk down the Winston now. Fister getting a good bit of damage into the back of that D.Va there. Of course, we will see Hassan with that charged railgun trying to look for a pick. Niam trying to round this corner, give themselves a little bit more space. Kane will be going for that Reaper 1v1. The bubble coming out there from No Shame. We should be seeing it engage relatively soon. And the Kitsune Rush, what did I say? It comes out just about stops short of the payload, but it is enough space for Niam to go forth, but unfortunately there is a Kitsune Rush on the side of House Vikings, and they will be the ones aggressing onto point. Still no kills. Well, I say that as the moment that No Shame manages to take out Slick with the Primal Rage. The bomb coming out does not manage to find anything quite yet. Niam will be trying to make as much use of Slicks being dead as they possibly can.
Yes, they will. We saw a bomb that was really able to slow them up. But the monkey of No Shame goes in into the back, like gets really shunked and gets even picked off by No Shame's Kane with the Blossom piece of Dragon Breath, and that will be a fight win for House Vikings, and Neom going back to spawn.
Yeah, Niam going Niam all the way back to spawn, one could say. Jay getting that lovely little stagger kill at the end.
ultimate economy is it's been quite even throughout the entirety of the attack here, and it still is. We No Shame's committing the jump into the back line wasn't able to use the jump pad as an escape tool. Instead had committed it in, and he can escape really when Ojimbe's turned around and put on a myriad of damage.
Yeah, Fister now with the Death Blossom. Tried to look for something there. Ojimbe's falling very, very low on that mech. The win condition there is to demech them, but both ultimates there coming out from Nyam. The Death Blossom as well, taking out JP. It's an absolute mess of ultimates on the point, but Nyam are the ones getting all of the kills there. X-Man's the last one to fall off the map, and it's a team kill for the team known as Nyam.
Yep, and now they're pushing forward. 145, 245 in the bank to cap the third point. Next no ultimates in the bank, and Diva's really good at holding down these high grounds that on the third point. So it'll be interesting to see how they utilize them.
Well, X-Man's creating a lot of space there with the overclock. Nyam can do nothing but back away for fear of being shot out, and X-Maz does just that, punishing Dragon Breath for going a little bit too out in the open. Kane with that headshot, securing the kill onto Fister, and No Shame having to get out way before they get chunked down. They have to go back into spawn to get the adequate healing in order to stay alive there.
Yep, only one ult used, which is really good work for the team known as House Vikings. Dragon Breath probably going to use their Kitsune Rush to go in quickly, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Dragon Breath, the team of Neom join Neom into the enemy backline.
Yeah, speak of the devil, Fister making use of that increased attack speed to go all the way in, now teleporting up to the high ground. Going for a cheeky little flank there. Kane trying to force Hassan off of the high ground, but it will be Fister going all the way in, getting chunked out a little there. Has to use the Raid Form to get out, but the Kitsune Rush on the side of House Vikings will be the thing that they need to win the fight, as Ojimpiss proves by taking out the Kiriko of Dragon Breath, getting a second kill onto Hassan, maybe a third onto Chickens. Nope. It will be Kane taking them out at the end there, but really good play there by House Vikings, kiting away from that initial Kitsune Rush and using one of their own to secure the fight.
No Shame was just in no man's land during the entirety of the fight. Was not in with his team, so he could not assist them when they got assaulted with the Kitsune Rush. And now, only 50 seconds left on the clock. Two fights should be able to happen here. And Kane joining in for the Blossom, but gets shot down by Hassan.
That's very unfortunate. Now House Vikings have no choice but to back away. Fister's going to take full advantage of this and go all the way in. The Death Blossom unfortunately not finding anything because of the boot coming out there from Slicks, but it will be Hassan with the overclock, getting that crucial Sojourn diff onto X-Maz, and taking this lovely little angle here, trying to get an initial headshot from the spawn room, the bubble, blocking any incoming damage that might go out onto Nyam. It will be House Vikings though with the beat and the overclock just to try and force Nyam off of the point. Almost 10 seconds remaining. It will be Ojimpisk with that, I think, environmental kill onto Dragon Breath, trying to keep this thing going. But it will be, I think, No Shame trying to touch the point at the last possible moment. They managed to do so. Hassan with that headshot gets taken out, unfortunately for them, by Ojimpisk. The bomb coming out doesn't quite land where they want to. Chickens with that beat. The Primal Rage as well, just ending. No Shame taken out there by the absolutely massive damage from Kane. And it will be House Vikings holding just before third point on King's Row.
Holding just before it's really good, really crucial for them. That means that if they cap the entirety of the point, they are going to advance to the next round of the tournament. And yes, again, really wonderful effort by Vikings, but also Neom really putting on a show, using their ultimates really well, getting the really good value off of them most of the time, not really wasting anything, using too much ult in a fight. In general, a really good job by them. But not to downplay what House Vikings did. Really good work to kite ultimates, and probably used a bit too many like overinvested in a fight a bit too many times. But yeah, we see they managed to get clutch when they needed to.
Yeah, and that clutch factor is very, very important when you're playing these first two series. Of course, you only get, you know, 3 maps, essentially, to be able to prove that you're worthy of staying in the tournament by, you know, beating the other team. And we have seen that so far from House Vikings. That was an excellent hold from them. They will be going with the same comp they used on offense. Nyam, the same comp they used on defense. The only variation, of course, being that D.Va. House Vikings going all the way in to start this off.
Yes, they are. Again, the D.Va pick is really interesting. Being able to catch No Shames out of position, force them back. We see Fista up on the high ground being a bit cheeky, but they're just ignoring him.
Yep, and it will be, though, Xmaz with that first headshot, the all-important Sojourn Death, as I keep mentioning, managing to take out Hassan initially in that fight. This is huge for House Vikings. If only Xmaz could get some kind of healing, they might be able to make a bit more in terms of moves. They take out Fista there with the headshot, and, I mean, that's just it. The fight's over. House Vikings take first point.
Yes, they do, and again, Ojimp is being able to chase down No Shame on the Monkey. The D.Va just being a hard counter for Monkey, and yeah, we see some swaps as a result. Fista going over to Sombra and No Shame going to Zarya. We're seeing some past meta swaps here. The Zarya still really good into D.Va team compositions. The Sombra, not so sure about that though.
Yeah, Sombra got absolutely hard nerfed. I don't know if you saw, but Questron held a funeral for the poor character. So we will be seeing the effect of those nerfs relatively shortly. That was an excellent disruptor shot. Does force Kane out, but the Kitsune rush just chunking down the members of House Vikings. Xmaz getting a nice little 3k at the end there. That will be, you know, more cut progression for House Vikings.
Yes, it will be, and we saw Fista getting a early hack onto Kane, but JP just putting out clans, just no hack for you. And that's another challenge that the Sombras has to deal with now that Kiriko's in the game. Every CC can be overturned by that cleanse, by the push of a bottom on a 12-second cooldown. It's insane.
Yeah, Hassan now coming up on that overclock. We should be seeing it this fight. Hassan has been absolutely deadly with these railgun shots thus far, and the railgun does come out. Almost kills Kane there. Hassan will be looking to get something done here. Xmaz with the overclock off their own. Beats coming out from both sides. The bomb coming through. Manages to find Fista, who just got a little bit nerfed there from that bubble. You know, that 2.5, 2-second thing, just not helping them out there whatsoever. The Sombra being taken out, absolutely crucial there for House Vikings. They're still trying to chunk down the side of Nyam. The grab coming out now. It will be 2 for No Shame, but they fall low in the process. And Xmaz gets a 2k with that absolutely huge disruptor shot. They have to use the EMP in order to stay alive in this fight. But Kane with the Seth Blossom takes out 3. And House Vikings takes second point with 5 minutes in the bank.
5 minutes to cap the... to get to the end of point C. That will be almost an insurmountable obstacle for Neom now, as they have no ults, and JP with a J-Sooner rush they can use to win a fight and recharge ultimates really effectively. Kane coming in really clutch with the Blossom, with the support of JP on the Kiriko.
Yeah, but Hassan has almost got their second overclock. I mean, they only just used the first one. I mean, if anything's supposed to be broken Sojourn is, it should be that headshot to San! What is this? You can't do this to people! Taking out JP just wins the fight for them.
Yeah, and that's 1 minute burned off the time bank. So Hassan just needs to do this every fight for 4 more minutes, and they will win.
Yep, Hassan just needs to get another 4 railgun headshots and they win. Sounds easy for the absolute wunderkind of that Sojourn, but the Kitsune Rush is coming in, and that damage increase Reaper, it just goes absolutely ham. The shotguns flying everywhere, going all the way in, having to Wraith form out due to the amount of damage coming in on him. Hassan with that overclock getting absolutely shut out there by Ojin Piss, taken out by a kunai from JP. Chickens having to use that beat in order to keep Nyaum in the fight. The Kitsune Rush as well coming out for Nyaum. This is a last-ditch effort to try and get something done here. Xmas falling very, very low. They slide away. The bomb on the point. Xmas managing to take out No Shame as well. Another huge pick coming in from Xmas with that railgun. Another huge pick coming in from Xmas with that railgun. A third coming in. It's a 5k for the side of House Vikings. And Kings Row goes their way, and with that, they advance.
Yeah, that was just a plain Sojourn show. If I would say that, it was Hassan, then it was Xmas, and then it was Hassan, and then was X-Man. Xmas. I be saying X-Man. Be like, I mean, like these Sojourn players are incredible, and Xmas not even needing the railgun to confirm picks.
Yep, I mean, the Sojourn show. Balanced character, by the way.
Yes, according to Blizzard. And their perfect balancing system.
No, they did. I'll give Blizzard some credit. They did nerf Sojourn in Capture the Flag. They nerfed Sojourn in Capture the Flag. I'll give them that. They did nerf the character, technically. But yeah, what a game. Absolutely thrilling display from both sides. It is definitely quite interesting to see Sojourns pop off. It is, you know, as broken as the character is, it is definitely exciting to see that immediate railgun headshot, that immediate satisfaction of knowing that a fight is won. You see House Vikings getting their score ticked up there right now. We do have an interview. We will confirm with who in just a moment, but I would like to take this time to thank the sponsor of this tournament, Community Gaming. The prize pool, obviously graciously given to us by them. Community Gaming, of course, the all-in-one platform to host a tournament. Check them out if you are so inclined.
Yeah, as like $100 distributed by between the top 3 teams, 50 for the winners, 30 for the second place, and 20 for the third place team. Can't seem to find the words.
I mean,
as usual.
I mean, you're probably just speechless after that incredible display from both teams.
Okay. Yeah. We'll tell that. We'll say that.
We'll say that. Yeah. Oh man, absolutely fantastic game. I'm definitely, you know, the Sojourn show definitely, you know, does get a little old after a while. Just saying, a little bit old. But that, you know, it is very exciting to see, you know, members of both teams just pop off as they did, especially, you know, with the amount of support that both teams gave into their Sojourns. Yeah, just an exciting game all around, really, even though, you know, most fights were just won and lost by a railgun. It, you know, still exciting, I think.
Yeah, really exciting indeed. Yeah. Again, it's been really quite good action. I might say that offense, that attack by House Vikings, they just wanted it. They wanted it more, and they seized it. They grabbed it, and they were able to close out the series 2-0. But a really valiant effort by Neom. Really well played.
Yeah, definitely, you know, giving House Vikings a run for their money, I think. Maybe not so much on Kings Row defense, but definitely on the offense. Probably not helped by the fact that Kane, who plays only Genji, must have been the first time that he ever played Reaper. And so that, I say, that's a pretty good display if that's the first time you've ever played Reaper.
Yes, indeed.
I'm being facetious, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought I'd make that clear. But yeah, you know, the sheer top 500 power of House Vikings is very much on display for that game, I think.
Yeah, House Vikings next game going to be against Everfrost EOS, who we previously streamed as well, playing really well. More unorthodox jumps from them last time we saw them. So it'll be really really interesting to see how that match play out. That of course not going to be streamed on this channel on here. It's just a match going on in the background.
Yeah, a match that I pretty much wish that I could have seen. To be completely honest, it's definitely going to be a high SR clash. But I think the next match is really the one that we want to be hyping up. If I can just find
Yes.
which one
It's
will be.
it's either Ethereal Alpha or Absalom Obsidian versus C9H13N Adderall or SOS Affen Alarm. Neither of those matches are complete yet.
Yeah, so we'll be waiting with bated breath to see when those brackets are updated. The bracket, of course, brought to you by Community Gaming. I feel like I'm plugging too much, but there's never such a thing as too much ad reading.
No, there really isn't, especially when they have been so gracious in helping support the tournament.
Yes, it's very nice of them. We are still waiting on somebody to come forward so that we can interview them and grill them with various questions such as, how do you feel about Sojourn? The answer won't surprise you at all.
Yes. Very broken character.
Yeah. But of course, the dev team did take some steps to nerf some of the DPS roster, most notably Junkrat, absolutely broken as hell hero. They nerfed the activation time on his trap, and they also nerfed how long the trap traps you for. A very necessary nerf, a very necessary balance decision, I think, by the devs. I, for one, hated being in that trap for 0.5 seconds longer than I think I should have been.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
All right, we do have JP in the waiting room currently. Hello, JP! Welcome to the stream. How did you find that game?
So yeah, it was just a Sojourn show to be honest, but our Sojourn kind of popped off this game.
Yes,
Yes, agreed. How do you feel about Sojourn as a character?
I have a pretty strong feeling. I don't, no, never mind. I think she's perfectly balanced. I don't think she should be touched at all. It's just a skill issue for like people cannot climb.
Controversial take now coming out from Jay. Definitely a fair take. I think Sojourn is definitely one of those characters where, the value that you get out of her just increases exponentially with how good you are at aiming, and that was definitely on display. How did you find playing against Hassan, Sojourn? We saw him popping off in varying capacities every now and then.
Yeah, he kind of rolled me. At least on the last point on King's Row there, he just kind of rolled me, like before the fight even started.
Yeah,
that was fun, and he was a threat, so we were like coming him constantly where the Sojourn was and trying to only focus him. So that was kind of our strat, not give the Sojourn too much value, while also bursting down the monkey because we were playing the diva. We like playing the diva still. We don't only play monkey yet. We haven't gotten to that stage yet, so it's pretty hard for us to counter the Sojourn.
Yes, and your next match is going to be against Everfrost EOS. How do you feel about that?
It's gonna be a scary match. I played with one of the players yesterday, and they were prepared. They said so. It's gonna be a show to put on. And I know they are a really good team as well. They have a lot of good players, at least individually. I don't particularly know if they play perfectly as a team or not, but I know their individual skill is pretty high on all players. So it's gonna be exciting to play. We're looking forward to it. Already planning some strats.
Yeah, we casted them earlier, and now we casted you. I say both teams will be, you will be really quite evenly matched. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to stream that match on the Twitch, but But I'll bet it is an entertaining one.
It's gonna be fine. You're gonna see us in the finals anyways.
Ooh,
Yeah.
strong words. Now those are fighting words. Most certainly, I do definitely look forward to that. How are you finding Kiriko? We saw you definitely popping off every now and then with those kunais. You enjoying her?
I think she's really fun. She fits my playstyle, like an annoying assassin, her character that can get out whenever she wants and get massive value. Like if your team is not doing damage, you can just do the damage yourself. I think that's a really fun part, at least for me. So I have another account that I only play her on, and you know, I have quite a few hours into her so far. She's a little bit strong though. I can say that. Maybe gets tuned down a little bit, 2.5
Yeah.
hertz or something.
Yeah. What would you if Sojourn and Kiriko would get nerfed? What aspects of their kit would you like to see toned down?
I would like the railgun to get changed on Sojourn, and Kiriko's maybe the headshot damage. It doesn't have to be 3x, maybe 2.5, or the ultimate can be. It has so many aspects to it. It has the movement speed, the reduction, the projectile increase. It's so many aspects of the ult that is so strong, and I think you don't need all of them. But I'm just hoping they don't kill the hero, because it's kind of my OTP at the moment. So you know, it's gonna hurt. With Sojourn though, I think she just needs a casting time on the right click, and maybe not just 260 damage per headshot and do like 1% equals 1 damage. I think that's a better one, so you can one-shot the 200 HP targets, but not like a Reaper. I think that's pretty stupid. Other than that, I don't want the character to get killed off, but you know.
I agree with you on that. See, these new characters, we want to play them. We want them to be good, at least to be viable, so we can play them, and not get the younger twin treatment where they're broken then get nerfed to the ground.
Yeah, Queen is pretty, you know, she's in a not the best spot at the moment. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Well, then, do you have any more questions here, Funky?
I do not. I don't think. But we do have a small announcement. Proxy, thank you very much for the Twitch subscription. It's 24 months now. That's 2 years that you've been here and been helping out in the community. We appreciate you very, very much. Thank you very much for that subscription.
Yes, thank you. And if you don't have any more questions, I'm gonna thank JP for coming here. Really well played. Good luck in the next match.
Thank you. Okay, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here and making this tournament so fun to watch. And
All right, well, I think that'll be it from certainly Fralex and I today. You'll be seeing Geo and Crumble take on the next game after we are done. It'll either be, you know, as we said, Ethereal Alpha or Obsidian versus Adderall or SOS Affin Alarm. So we will see at that point. But it is goodbye from us, and I hope you all enjoy your future endeavors and have a lovely, lovely day.
bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hello and welcome back to the Arena Open SR Division. 100 quid on the line between the top three, and that is because of our beautiful, wonderful sponsor of this tournament. And sponsor of the prize pool is Community Gaming. It's the all-in-one platform to host tournaments, and they've been gracious enough to help us out today. My name's Gio. I'll be casting for the rest of the night for you, joined by my wonderful, dearest friend in the world, maybe, Crumble.
Hey guys, it's me, Crumble. How's it going? Good to be here. It's been a little while, I think, since I've casted an for Arena 51. I've been on a bit of a hiatus, very busy, but I am so glad to be back. And for the Open SR 20, we've got some, we were just saying, Joe, we've got some stacked teams for us today.
Yeah.
Like, Open SR is no joke. The SR is not something to laugh at. I mean, the lowest, like, this is Open SR, the lowest team we have, their SR average is 3.7k. That is, and that's like, I'm sorry, 3.6k, but like, that's not low. That's not really that low, really, in the grand scheme of things. So
I mean, you're right. I mean, Couch Tails, we're making some moves. We're kind of back into it. As soon as we saw Open SR and money on the line, we're like, okay, the competition gonna be a little bit too high for us. We'd rather cast that than get involved with the Sharks. And one of the set of Sharks, we're still waiting on a match to be finished up right now, but is Ethereal Alpha. And we know a little bit about Ethereal Alpha. We know, of course, Ethereal itself, amazing org. Ethereal Alpha is a 4.5k average team. That's a very high level team. We're talking at the level that players would be playing in open division and being competitive in it. So it's looking very good for this team here.
Yes, yeah, it is. I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, like, 4.4k average, like 4.5k. That is what you need to. That's the threshold for Overwatch League. Like, that is. I think you need to be that level. I mean, obviously, there's other factors. You need to have enough experience in stuff like Open Division and Contenders, but that is high level. That is we are already getting to the best of the best kind of gameplay, which is why, Gio, I was really interested to see D.Va being played, and that we've seen that in the past couple of matches, which really, when you look at Open Division, we're seeing at the moment a lot of Monkey and a lot of Hog, which is definitely taking the meta by storm. But, I mean, D.Va, what do you really make of that?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, of course, D.Va was just nerfed. We finally got that delayed patch, came in, nerfed Zarya up, bubbles don't last as long, and the cooldowns increased, and D.Va does a little bit less damage. But what does D.Va have that wasn't nerfed? D.Va Matrix. And that's still a strong ability, and that's maybe why we're seeing D.Va still come in, because it is a very powerful thing, especially when there's railgun shots, one-shotting people all over the place. Sojourn, I must predict, will have a 100% pick rate in this tournament. How could it not? Especially when we're at this level where these players are not going to be missing those railgun shots, Grumble. It's going to be very devastating for the enemy teams.
It will be. I think we're kind of almost seeing, as Monkey. I mean, I think in Overwatch League, in the recent playoffs, Monkey had a 100. I think it was a 92% pick rate. Because I watched a Flats video earlier and he was talking about the stats, so I remember them. Lucio and Kiriko, 100% pick rate. Reaper, 92% pick. I think 90% pick rate actually. And Sojourn, like you said, 100% pick rate. They are at the high level that we're going to be looking at today, folks. Those are the picks we're going to see, most likely. But it's interesting to see the D.Va and the Hog come out a little bit, because it's almost, when you think of tanks that possibly nullify a Monkey in his engage, right? You think of probably D.Va and Hog. Hog's got the hook and he's got the shotgun to finish off the Monkey, and then D.Va's got, I mean, yes, she has got some nerfs, but she still has that jet booster which can move him away from the engage. She has the close range shotguns, which, although nerfed, they still do a decent amount of damage, and she's got the defense matrix to maybe ward off a Sojourn or a Reaper close range. So they both those characters do have something to bring to the table, but I'm kind of mainly expecting Monkey. I'm expecting the Banana Rush, which, again, like I've said it before, my favorite name for a comp in a very long time.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it's a fantastic name for a comp.
Yeah, Banana Rush is a little easier to run in terms of the team play than the Roadhog comp that is quite gaining ground and becoming quite popular. We've seen it firsthand crumble.
Yeah.
That matchup there, yes, you can, deny the monkey a lot, but the overall team play is much harder to play around the Roadhog comp.
Mm.
Very pick orientated, and if you're not getting those picks, then the Banana Rush, which you may deceivably think it's a dive comp, which it's not. Rush is in the name, right? It's kind of like the old 6-man comp. You might know it as Talon Dive,
Zombie
Talon Rush,
comp as well.
Zombie
Monkey
comp,
Rush. Went by a lot of names.
yeah, plenty of names, but there was only one way to play, and that was really just kind of playing it as a rush, right? Playing it as a kind of proto brawl hybrid comp. And playing really together, those monkeys and those reapers. Maybe in lore, those two are opposites. They're on the other side, but in this comp, they're together. They're intertwined. They're helix together. And if they're not together, then it all falls apart. And that's when Roadhog starts to tear it up with, well, a bit of a combo with the Greco, right, Grumble?
Yeah, so Kiriko does serve Hog really well because a lot of the time, as everyone knows, I think this is, a tells all the time. You see a Hog, you pick Ana. It's common knowledge at this point. You've got the sleep to nullify him. He's such a big hitbox. It's pretty difficult to miss. I think it's more difficult to miss than it is to hit him. You've got the anti-nade, which if he is going for aggressive angles, he's going to be taking damage, and he's going to be using his self-heal. That completely nullifies that. And then people can just collapse on him, and he just crumbles. Yeah, so a lot of the time, that is his downfall is on CC. You can CC Hog to hell. He's not difficult to hit. But Kiriko completely changes the game for that because she, in herself, nullifies that CC's effect with her Suzu.
Mm-hmm.
So it does make characters like Hog, and any characters that are easily punishable. That's why Monkey is able to go so aggressive in this composition. And you can just, a lot of the time as Monkey, if you just walk in, you're going to get punished. But now you've got this Suzu. I mean, in the old Monkey Rush comp, you could walk in because you had a Diva, right? But now you don't. Now you have a Suzu. So it's kind of the same playing field in terms of where Monkey's... The fact that Monkey is able to sustain aggression in this comp. That's why I think it's so reminiscent of, Monkey Rush.
Yeah, and never before have we seen a support like Rico who can follow up a dive or a jump or any sort of gauge so well with the swift step, just immediately, boom, there with it, and can immediately cleanse and make the allies immortal for that moment, which is basically like a diving Baptiste. And if you told someone back when Baptiste was added that they'd be adding a diving Baptiste, people would be up the walls on the ceiling crazy with that idea, but that's what we have right now. Not to mention, if you're accurate with that kunai shot, it's 3 times damage to the head. Sure, the body shot's not a lot, but it's what, 160, 120 to the head.
Headshot, yeah.
120 to the head.
I think 30 for the body shot.
No, 40.
40, yeah.
Yeah, because 40 times 3 is 12. Yes.
Maths.
No,
we're
4 times
educated. We're educated. We're educated,
yeah,
guys.
we're not paid to do maths. I've not done maths in years, Crumble.
Yeah. We need.
We're both media students.
The most maths I've done recently that I can think of is at uni, where all I'm really talking about is frequencies. So that's basically as close as it gets. And that's where the maths is fun, really. They said apply your maths.
You didn't mean it.
School lies to you. Anyway, we're not going to start.
Stay still, good.
Whoa.
Stay
Go to school. Stay in school. Yeah.
Still waiting for one of these teams to finish up here. We can look again at the bracket view and kind of have a look at what that matchup might be. And I want to ask folks in chat, who are you rooting for here? Who do you want to see take it in this tournament? I guess who are you supporting for? I want to hear it. I want to see those team names in the chat. Who do you think has it in them to get a bit of moolah by the end of the weekend? And well, it's between SOS, Alarm, and Adderall. So it must be going to distance at the moment, since that is what we're waiting for.
Yeah,
Grumble, do you have
most likely.
any predictions? There's some teams in here that are familiar, but most of them are in the loser bracket.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of our prized A51 teams like Yoinkers are unfortunately going down to the losers bracket. I mean, when we look at the numbers on paper, Ethereal Alpha should sweep this tournament. Really, they have the most stacked team out of anyone here, and on paper they have the highest SR average. But really, that doesn't always mean that's not always the single contender to a team taking the victory. So we will see what happens. I think I'm gonna go for Ethereal Alpha here because I'm a big fan of Ethereal esports, and I mean they're probably managed by Gold Blooded, and I think it's her that is carrying them.
You just assume if it's Imperial team,
let's give some managers the love. They never get the love they deserve.
Well, Valentina's down as the Discord for the
okay.
managers, so yeah, I'm sure Gold's involved in some way though. But yeah, lots of good players on the side of Imperial Alpha. In fact, we can even deep dive into some of them. So we have Kevin on the tank role. They only have one tank at the moment, and
Okay.
I've seen teams vary, right? Some teams have the one tank, but some do have two. Some do have two, and they kind of vary between them. And Kevin, on the side of Imperial Alpha, wants Doom to be meta. That is a little note that we have on that player. A curious take, indeed. But they are peaked rank 82 on tank this season. So, a very high level tank player.
That is scary to look at. Yeah. Obviously, Ethereal Alpha, the one thing they have above Obsidian is that they do have a bigger roster. They only have one tank, but they do have 3 DPS and 3 supports. So if they do need to maybe switch it up, maybe they play Circle Royale and they want to have something a bit more pokey, they can kind of work into that. Maybe they have a bat player or a Zen player who can step in, as well as maybe like a Widow player. Whereas Obsidian, they are just going to be, they have got one tank, 2 DPS, and 2 support. Keeping it simple.
Obsidian are not the team.
No, they're not. They're
Obsidian were
just
the
on the
last team that they faced.
Well, the last team they faced. So maybe that
Obsidian
roster
did take a map.
Yeah, they did take a map, but maybe that big roster helped to compensate maybe for some maps they weren't really able to play certain compositions on that they were running. So yeah, I mean, you do get a lot of versatility and a lot of flexibility with a larger roster.
There are free supports on Ethereal Alpha, and one of them has a very, very hot take, folks. Let's just out the player. In fact, Nelly Ozu, I hope that's how I pronounce your name, liked playing double shield comps, free. Interesting take that I'm sure chat will have some words about. Grumble, double shield, not the most popular composition, and definitely one that we will never see again. The most you can do with double shield is like having a Brigida, as TikTok calls a tank support. So,
yep, she is a tank support. I understand. I do somewhat understand. A small part of me understands maybe the remnants of double shield. I kind of get it a little bit because sometimes it is nice to play a bit of a slower game, a bit more methodical. But double shield wasn't methodical. It was monotonous. It was tedious. It was prolonged. And Overwatch is a fast, MOBA style FPS game with all these crazy abilities that are thrown out on the battlefield. Having it played that slow is just not fun. I don't want to, anyone who likes double shield, sorry, it is objectively not fun. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. It's not fun. So poke, that's a different story. These hog comps, these Sigma comps that we see in Overwatch 2, those are different. I think they have a place, and I think they can be quite fun, entertaining sometimes to watch these kind of more long range battles. But yeah, double shield was not fun. So
Yeah,
that is
I
that is a
mean,
hot take.
that's one thing that you can say with absolute certainty and a concrete fact. Overwatch 2 is just faster than Overwatch 1
Yeah.
because that second tank isn't there. It's not there to peel. It's not there to set up. It's going to be playing faster. And all the main metas that we've seen, whether it's Jotes in Overwatch League or the Zarya composition or
It's a
Banana
banger.
Rush or the Hog. Yeah, there's a banger playing right now. All of them play fast or at least at a medium pace. You know, none of them want to play slow. I mean, with Zarya, you don't want to play as fast as, say, a Reinhardt would, because good Reinhardts would still be able to beat a Zarya if they outpaced the Zarya and got in there before the charge was too high and they had enough time to build that charge. But it's still a fast rate of pay. A fast pace of play. Lots of P's that I got confused with.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. It is still no matter what kind of composition you're trying to run here in Overwatch 2, it is by nature going to be fast. It is by nature going to have to adhere to a lot of new, the new style of play, right? Because you're absolutely right. Without a second tank, your main tank, well, your tank now doesn't, just your single tank doesn't really have time to set up really as much because they don't have a mediator. Normally, for example, if you're setting up a dive in Overwatch 1, you do have a poke stage, right? Because if your DPS want to poke, they can just defense matrix, they can shoot, they won't get shot at. Easy peasy. But in Overwatch 1, you have to be a lot more precise with your compositions and you have to understand what you're playing a lot more, which I think is better. And the one role that I think, in my opinion, I might be just be saying this because I'm a support player, but support is wildly different in Overwatch 2. From my perspective, playing, both of us now are playing on calculators again, so playing, in a more organized play on. Yeah, with the support. Yeah, this guy's on support, by the way. Main support. He stole my role. I mean, Lucio OCP, to be fair, but he stole main support. Yeah, and now I'm on flex support playing a lot of Kiriko, obviously. And I think it's very interesting to see. Okay, Kiriko is different, right? Because Kiriko was designed for Overwatch 2, but when I played a bit of Ana, a bit of BAP here and there, it is interesting to see how those characters different playstyle. It's a lot more self-serving. You can't, say in comms, oh, I'm rotating on an aggressive angle. Diva, can you defense matrix me so I don't die? It's not like that anymore, and you don't have bodies to stand in front of you to help you kind of survive. You have to be mechanically sound. Looks like what is sound is that we finally do have our matchup. Whoa! We do finally have our matchup. Where did I get there?
Oh
That's
my
sick.
lord. SOS Alarm has entered the building, and they will be facing Imperial Alpha. They have defeated Adderall there, and now we can start to have a look at the setup. So the average SR for SOS Alarm is set at 3.8k. So by that, they're the underdogs. But SR isn't everything. It's a lot, but it's not everything. So we can start to have a look at what we have here in this team. I see at least a familiar name in Turbo. Obviously, Turbo, big member in the Overwatch community, playing on main support. He's the only one without a GM peak, actually, and they bully him because of that, Crumble. Isn't that what I mean?
That he's a GM peak.
That he doesn't. He's the only
He's
one who
not
doesn't.
a GM peak. So that's funny because then in the notes, he clearly hasn't written this because it says Turbo is our little main support player.
Yes.
He's the only one without a GM peak, and we love to bully him because of that. XD. So yeah, you're right. He's the only one without a peak on GM. So these players do have an experience in a slightly higher level than their SR average. Which, I mean, again, SR average can be skewed. A lot of the time you can get teams which have a player that SR-wise may drag down the average, but is still absolutely on par with the rest of the team. We've seen it time and time again. You have these. You often do see it in normally the plat to diamond range where they might even have. It might be a diamond team with a low to mid plat player, but they are still on par. So you can see at the higher level as well. So it is likely that that is the case. So, I mean, if SOS have made it so far here, they've at least made it through a couple rounds so far. So
we've spent a lot of time casting scrims where the team will debate us with a comp. Well, today Arena 51 has debated us with a team. SOS Athenalarm are not up next. It's Anarol, folks. Woo, we keep you on your toes. I say we, they, us. We don't know.
The Arena 51 gods.
The deities of Arena 51, not the ones from Arenality. They are, of course, not infallible. So let's have a look at the actual team that will be playing. It is Adderall.
Yes.
So, yes. They have a big roster.
And these are the two highest SR teams in the standings so far. Yeah, looks like a very similar story. Yeah, 3 DPS, 3 supports for each of them.
Yeah, so let's have a little look. So Trembar here studied esports, dropped out. Studied psychology, dropped out. And peaked 88 on tank. And ranked 71 on DPS. So that's the important part. You know what? I feel that because I'm in my own life, I have struggled to find my own way and what I want to do. So I am actually syncing with Trembar right now, the tank player for Adderall.
Yeah, and I think having that DPS experience as well, that puts you on another level to a lot of tanks. Tank is really, I think tank and support are. I think tank more so really is the game sense role. A lot of the tank characters don't really rely too much on heals, bar maybe Hog. It's a different kind of mechanical skill. It's about ability usage and stuff, and they've got a lot of projectiles. So
Tempo redeemed a joke. Sorry for interrupting the flow.
How dare you?
My joke is hello and welcome to the Arena Quick Play edition. That's if you were watching at the start, you'll get that one.
Oh, that's funny. Well, we are moving on to our first map here. A push
Colossal!
Colossal!
Let's go.
I'm so happy to be with all of you here today. Casting a little bit of... Oh, there we go.
Whoa! That updated real time?
Whoa, that was...
What?
The A51 deities, they're listening. They're listening to
Okay,
us,
because so a little behind the scenes, I did the Overwatch 1 ones, and the text was edited in the actual editing suite. So the fact that changed actually blew my mind. I didn't realize
that is crazy.
But yes, Glacial push map. What are we expecting to see here from these teams?
Well, push does it does support a little bit more of these sustained compositions. A lot of the time we will see the monkey comp will do and will out a lot of the time, and it does have good sustain. With the monkey having jump as disengage rather than an engage, you can't in this composition is what we normally see the ability being used for. You do kind of have a way to kite back to sustain yourself and to re-engage with your resources back. So it is a really good comp in terms of sustaining in a game mode like push. However, one thing that has seemed very popular on this specific push map has been the Ryan. In a lot of places in Open Division, it's been pretty common. In Overwatch League, we've seen London Spitfire do really well with Ryan on this map. And I think that is because of just that close quarters corridor is really good for Ryan. And he's got a lot of those little nooks and crannies to kind of swing around the corners there to kind of go into. So he has a lot of options. Whether we see a varying from the meta, I hope so, but it is kind of unlikely.
Well, we will soon be finding out in roughly 30 seconds when the teams are assembled. And you know what? I know there's people that don't like push maps. I'm a push enjoyer, actually, not a push hater. And I know even in push lovers, people are back and forth on Calesio. My hot take, I guess, then is I like this map a lot.
Okay.
Not only visually, because
Oh, it is.
it's Rome, right? But also just look at that. It's so beautiful.
the Overwatch team never do fail us in terms. You know, sometimes balance can be a bit, a bit here and there. But one thing they never seem to fail is with the art style. This beautiful map will lead us into this beautiful series. Adderall versus Ethereal Alpha here. Hog comp coming out from Ethereal Alpha. Interesting picks. Kevin does seem to be more of the DPS type, so we'll see how that plays into it here.
Absolutely. As these teams are now teeing off in this poke stage in the center of the Colosseum here. Just kind of poking back and forth, trying to create opportunity. Of course, you don't want to overextend, especially as the rush bomb against Kevin here on the Hog, looking for a keen pick. The win condition, of course, is all about getting an elimination, getting a big hook there with Kevin on the Hog.
Yeah, he's looking to poke out as much as possible. Tembar is taking a little bit of damage here, but it really is. We're waiting out, seeing who can actually get the first elimination. Tembar falling so low on that. The E from the Soldier is going to finish him off. And what a hook. Cancelling out the E. Cancelling out the teleport from Strain there. Beautiful hook there. Nice placement. And if they were Alpha able to get the first push there, that hook almost went through the Soldier. That was weird.
Yeah,
we're going to see the match on with the Hog coming out. Just 80% to ult from Kevin already. God damn.
Yeah, like that secondary fire from the shotgun was so much, and this is so smart. Look at this, they're actually playing back, playing patient, they've got the lead, and they know they can do this. Now, Tremor has been forced onto the Hog, which has kind of created a match here on these teams, but as you say, Kevin, so close to that whole Hog, but uh-oh!
The Suzu saves him from the hook from Tembar. The overclock coming out from Sonda. That's one pick in their favor already. Paranid gone out of the fight. Beautiful headshot onto him there. They have to sustain it. They have to try and do something. Both Kitsune Rush comes out. Tembar getting a beautiful hook. Both Kitsune Rushes are out on the field, but only one will be successful as Adderall able to push in a little bit. Hog available here. Beautiful boop there from Paranid to negate that hook. And it looks like Ethereal Alpha might be turning this one around, Gio.
Yeah, Alpha have swapped onto this Hog and it's working wonders for them. Do need to just clean up these members here, but definitely went in the way of Alpha. Now they're going to be moving this bot, and Kevin still has this whole Hog. Doesn't have the rush to combo with it, neither does Trembar, but it still can find a lot of value in the creating of the space. Trippy though, much closer to Blossom, will have it this next fight. Both beats ready from the teams though, and again, Alpha playing very patiently.
Yeah, that is kind of the strategy on this map. You want to keep the fight in this center bit here. Beautiful Blossom coming out. They didn't expect that the Suzu and the beat have to be used. That's a lot of resources, and a trade is worthy here of that. The whole comes out from Kevin, and with the support of another one and the beat from Paranid. They're Alpha able to yet again just absolutely sweeten a fight. They're not wanting to push too far. They want to keep the fight in the center bit, and they're doing a great job of doing that.
Yeah, they just need to clean up Ivory there, and that's a bit of a stagger pick. Now they're going to be pushing this bot a lot further up now, and I have to assume that they'll push it up and then back up. That's what we've seen them do, but actually they're not. They're holding their ground. They want to get that butt scratch. They do have this overclock on the side of Adderall, and there it's popped.
Yeah, that overclock comes out from Sonda. We saw them get a lovely headshot onto Paranid before. Whether or not they can get any value with it, it seems not. They're holding the point nicely though. Casino Rush is going to come out from the side of Theory Alpha, and Sonda's going to be able to use that against them. Gets the pick onto another one. The hook though coming out from Kevin. Beautiful hook there, but Sonda yet again on the Sojourn, able to turn these fights around for Adderall, and they're able to get the picks they need. I think a bit of a misplaced fight there from Ethereal Alpha. Positioning maybe not up to par. But either way, Adderall able to turn things in their favor.
Yeah, Adderall did utilize that overclock to their advantage, creating a lot of space. Now they have this Kitsune Rush and Blossom. Could go for the new style Blade that we've seen a lot of. Alpha, they really have no answer for it in terms of the ultimate bank. They need to be careful in how they approach this fight if they are looking to take it.
Oh, Cook comes out from Temba, barely catches Kevin off guard. He's not able to get the finishing blow, but the Cassini Rush is going to help them push forward here. Sonda yet again leading Adderall into this fight with the picks to back it up. Picks coming through, that 3 for Adderall as they push close to Butt Scratch, and it's flipped, Gio. They're now almost at Butt Scratch.
Yeah, I think they will get this checkpoint also and send themselves into the lead. Although Alpha is approaching with a bit of an advantage on the ultimate bank. Comics really needs to build the speed, but hold on!
The touch, it barely comes out in time for them not to be able to take the lead. The pick does come through from Tembar though, and it was such a haphazardous touch there that they're not able to find anything of it. Trippy does find a nice little pick there onto the Kiriko that may serve them on the next fight, but for now, Adderall seems to be pushing well.
Yeah, Adderall really putting Alpha onto the back step there. That was a huge elimination, especially since Alpha had the ult bank advantage. And there you have it, folks. The butt scratch, that's going to unlock the forward spawn. Both teams here have a good amount of ult. Both beats are ready to nullify the aggression from the opposing teams. And here comes the whole hog.
A hog from Kevin. Tossing that onto Tembar. The beat though comes out in order to sustain them. Now they've got their own hog.
Cancelled!
And they cancelled the beat! Tembar with the whole hog managing to cancel the beat of Paranid and turn this fight back in the favor. It looks like Ethereal Alpha are possibly going to get some momentum there as they got a nice early rotation. But Adderall are taking it to the next level here.
Terranbar is an absolute fiend on the Roadhog. Cancelled that beat is exactly what they needed. Alpha on the back foot, although they do have the rush and the blossom sooner than Adderall. That's the one thing going for them right now. It's a win condition. I think Adderall know that though. They're backing up a little.
Yeah, they do not want to face this Reaper off close range, but what a hook to open up the fight for the Suzu's there. Not enough. Trippy finds the pick. That's an opening one there for the team of Ethereal Alpha, and they don't even need to commit these ults here, Gio. They go in, guns blazing, and manage to get the fight win without committing a dime.
Just getting started.
Yeah, another one there for the Sojourn on Alpha's side, so I had to do it. I got it early.
You can't not.
Yeah, and Alpha very keenly held on to those ultimates. They still have the Blossom, they still have the Rush. Tom X does not have the beat. But now on the other side, Adderall, the exact same combination. It's going to be about who gets the better of it.
Here comes Cassini Rush from the side of Adderall. There's the Blossom completely nullified. Beautiful boot there from Paradin. The displacement boots are absolutely on point from this man. Cassini Rush comes out from the other side. They're going to be looking for that Blossom soon. There it is. It finds one. Tembar, he's the man you want to take out. You want to get that Hulk out of the picture. That is the front line so much weaker. And Trippy on this Reaper is going to find 2 picks in this fight. Make it 3. There we are. Yeah. Doing absolute crazy stuff. Throw Alpha cleaning up nicely.
An amazing kite there from the side of Alpha, and crucially that fight was taken while it was past the halfway mark, so no forward spawns. They are close to this butt scratch, but because of how prolonged the fight was, there is a chance here that Adderall can recontest. Oh, that's gonna change things!
That changes things up a lot here. Beautiful opening pick onto Ivoxy on the Kiriko. They're so close to the butt scratch. So close to that checkpoint. They have the overclock. That gives them so much space here. And then Adderall know it. They're backing off. They don't want to take this fight. They want Alpha to take the fight to them. They still have a bit of an advantage here. As they do have the lead.
Do have the beat, and that is a key factor here. It's going to be about who gets the better beat off, and now Paranid did get theirs cancelled last time. That's a big hook!
And it's followed up by the railgun shot from Son. The overclock is popped, and there's that beautiful aggression we saw before, turning the tides nice and quick. Ultimates used, but definitely not in vain, as Adderall are going to be taking back control of the bot, and they have the lead here, Gio. So they really are, in a better position.
They are in a very good position right now. Of course, forward spawns for Alpha, so this fight will immediately take place. Paran itself to beat, so is Tommy X. Ivory, though, closer to the Kitsune Rush. Big hook.
But another one takes out Scrain there. The Suzu able to sustain him through the damage incoming from the front line. He's able to make it work. Getting 2 there. Another one and another one for the Sojourn on the side of Ethereal Alpha. Suzu U's not able to sustain Kevin, and another one on the side of Ethereal Alpha. These Hogs and these Sojourn players from both sides really doing so much to carry these team fights.
Yeah, another one peaked rank 63 on DPS this season, and we're really starting to see why. Such a skilled individual here in this tournament, and really showing what they can do on the Sojourn. Both rushes ready, both beats ready. What support line will get the value?
Here comes the Cassini Rush from the side of Ethereal Alpha. All support ults on the field. It's all about who gets that opening pick. Beat was used slightly late on the side of Ethereal Alpha. But there's the beat on the side. Screen, he gets 3. Absolutely differential. Trippy tried his best to even match it. And with 20 seconds of the clock, Gio, it doesn't look like Ethereal Alpha even have much of a chance at all.
Yeah, you see now the call from Adderall not to touch the bot. That's a key decision that they're maybe not sure on, but the forward spawn from Alpha is there, and Kevin now in the Doomfist will get a touch here. It's unlikely that they won't. Yep, there they go.
Touch comes out from Kevin on the Doomfist. Overclock from another one. If we know them, they can on the Soldier make something work, get the picks required to maybe equalize this and find the win, but Scrain is going to say absolutely not. Beautiful headshot and the melee combination onto the Tracer completely nullifies their touch whatsoever. That's 2 picks from the side of Adderall. They now have this Hog and the Overclock, and they're doing so much work. That is them pushing them off the cart. They'll take the first map, Colosseo to Adderall.
Very nicely played there by Adderall. And it was Alpha that had the first half of this map, but Adderall did turn it around quite nicely. And you really gotta give it to the Roadhogs here. Right now, Kevin's getting play of the game, very well deserved, but also Turnbird himself did outstandingly. And we've got to really showcase who's got the best big meatball of a Roadhog and spaghetti of a Hook.
Yeah, so I do think that they were definitely differing in playstyle a little bit. I think Kevin was much more of your kind of. I would say Kevin, he was getting good picks and having good pop-off moments. But I do have to say, I really think that Tembar was really consistent. Always landing hooks that open up fights, and always getting a lot of damage in. And I mean, the whole hooks were always fantastic from him. Canceling out the beat from Paranid. Unreal stuff. It's almost kind of playing on the mind game a little bit as well with Ethereal Alpha, especially as a Lucy player. When your beat gets cancelled, you don't feel good about it. So definitely kind of stating themselves as maybe the superior Roadhog in this matchup. But we are yet to see. This is only map 1. It is match point here to Adderall, as we are in a best of 3 series. But I definitely think that Ethereal Alpha can have what it takes to even out this series, because it was by no means close.
Absolutely, yeah, that push was back and forth, and it was down to that last fight there, whether Alpha was going to retake the lead, and, well, Adderall had something to say about that, and Screen really stepped up there for sure, showing themselves to be a very capable Reaper, someone you can really rely on your DPS, so it's definitely something to look out for. And Midtown is going to be our chosen map for Hybrid. What are you thinking we'll see here? Because we both are quite keen on this map.
Yeah, Midtown is definitely, I would say, I think it's probably, out of all the new maps, I'd say it's definitely my favorite. I think it has I think as it grows on me, I think I might prefer it to Kings Row. I think it has hot take that it might turn out to be the best. Yeah, I think so. It's got a lot more versatility than Kings Row, but it's still got the kind of same burst point is very brawly. Second point is a bit more divey with that defense high ground, and then third point is kind of a bit of a hybrid. You've got some high ground to work with. You can use it for a lot of different compositions, and I think that as the meta will change throughout Overwatch 2, I think it'll be a solid map to teams will always want to be choosing, because it just has so much versatility. Most likely going to be Sigma Monkey or the Hog comps come out. Maybe a bit of Diva, we'll see. I think Diva maybe has some capabilities on the defense. She can eat a lot of incoming damage, which can maybe serve them pretty well. But again, we'll see. Hog does seem to be like a fun pick for these teams, and they seem to be liking it, so they might just continue on with that from the last map.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be seeing very shortly what these teams are going to be choosing in the Big Apple, the land of opportunity. New York crumble, and I honestly, I do agree with the sentiment, kind of like a new King's Row. I don't know what the community consensus on the map is right now, but I am a big fan of it, and it looks like the Roadhogs are too. From Oceania to the Americas, Roadhog has made the journey and will continue to be the main choice of play here for these teams. And no wonder, because the Roadhogs really got a lot done there on Colosseo, now in Midtown looking to do the same. And it's all about how you rotate through here, because This defense, you will see them set up on the left here, and they will try and cut off the rotation of Alpha as they try and get into this first point. So rotations are a very big part of this first point here, and making sure you're not getting cut off.
Yeah, see, Kiriko is able to do that right there, right? So I've obviously kind of getting an aggressive angle as the fight starts and being able to TP back to his team. And by the time the proper team fight starts, he's already got that back. Beautiful hook though
Whoa.
from Zembar, catching Kevin completely off guard. Suzu has to be used already. Your Alpha have to look to maybe sustain the fight. Another one for the man! We thought another one was the Sojourn on the side of Ethereal Alpha. It seems not. Sonder's going to finish that off nicely. Kevin taking out the fight. Going to be a good trade though. Kiriko is not a character that, you know, can be taken lightly. So maybe they can find a re-engage here. They can find the value they need.
With the Lucio and the Swift Step, might be able to get back in here for the time of the fight, but so far Tembar's been such a devastatingly accurate hook on the Roadhog. There's a rare miss there, but the rotate right onto the Firestruck here is going to cause a bit of an issue for the defense, but they are holding in well, and Tembar again!
Finishes it off with the hook just to disrespect. Suzu is going to be able to possibly keep Ethereal Alpha up a little bit, but look at the amount of damage they're taking. Dembar is never on the back foot, always front facing, going to be taking a nice pick on Kiriko as well. And of course, Sonder on the Sojourn, finishing off as many kills as they can humanly manifest. Adder looking really good on the defense so far.
Yeah, looking very strong, and it's all about just the adaptation to the rotation, like I was talking about. But now, as these fights are prolonged, both Avoxy and Neluzo has a similar percentage to the Kiriko rush, Kitsune rush here, and that's going to be a very key indicator, especially since these beats are not ready. Tommy Exo a little bit closer to theirs. The right click from Terranbar is so devastating and actually forces a retreat.
Yeah, the Suzu is being forced so early from the side of Fury. Alpha hears both rushes placed down onto field. It's all about this opening pick for both sides. Whole Hog going to be coming out from 10, but he's falling extremely low as Lucio barely keeping him up. Tomex doing a great job of that speed, helping him hide back a little bit. Kevin's taking so much damage. Suzu applied onto them. Here's the Whole Hog though, but gets taken out by Sonder with the overclock. Yet again, finding all the value they need. Beat has been used by Ethereal Alpha in this 4v5 fight. Maybe an overzealous ultimate, as Sonder does find a bunch of picks here in this team fight. 1 minute 30 on the clock, and Adderall, they're looking. I mean, not even a third
Stagger.
of the point. Oh,
That's brave to stagger Kiriko, and it has worked out. Kiriko could just suddenly two-dink someone. So that was a brave play, but it worked out for them. That stagger's going to be rough 1 minute on the board now. And Trippy, not quite to the Blossom yet. Well, Scrain has theirs. Scrain, we talked about, a very good player on the side of Adderall, very consistent on the Reaper. Another one with this overclock, though. We've seen how accurate they can be with the railgun, so it could be a difference maker in this upcoming fight.
yeah, absolutely. This is exactly what we want to see. The Blossom from the Screen got so much value on Colosseum. Whether or not they can make it work on this map will be another nice TP to the high ground. He's looking for it. Overclock has been cast. Beautiful Suzu there from Neluzu, but it's going to be to no avail. Screen finds a pick anyway. Going to be holding on to his Blossom, almost hanging it as a threat over the heads of Ethereal Alpha, who look to poke and try and regroup coming to this next fight.
Yeah, it's do or die, final fight situation here, but now the Blossom's ready from Trippy, and Neluzo is a little bit more ahead in his Kitsune rush, and is going to enter with it.
Oh, the Casino Rush comes out, but Temban gets the advantage onto Kevin, takes him out nice and cleanly. 5 seconds on the clock, can anyone touch? It doesn't look like it. Crane is absolutely melting down every single member on the side of Ethereal Alpha. What a defense, not even a tick.
Oh, yeah, very strong plays here from the team of Adderall. And we're starting to see a bit of struggle with the Roadhog comp on the side of Alpha. And of course, at this level, when a team is playing well, they can make the other team look like they're not, they're not as good as they are. That's just how it looks. But might just be that the adaptation onto the Hog meta is a little more difficult for Alpha, They were the ones who came out first on the Roadhog, though, so that might not be the case. But right now, it is Termbar who is getting the better with the hooks. You know, I wish we could see the stats on hook percentage rate, because Termbar is rarely missing those hooks, and every time they're finding high value. Now it's a real do or die situation for Furo Alpha. The map that they chose, they've been full held on. Now they have to think, what can we do to full hell? Because you now need to go for the draw, right? If you want to stay in this series, or you're going to be sent to the loser's bracket. And Kevin has thought, hey, let's horse around a bit.
I'm almost scared that Adderall are somehow knowing exactly what the other side are picking, because Zembar looks to also play the Orisa. These two tank players, they're on the same wavelength here. They are one and the same.
Yeah, they're intertwined. Both actually going for the Orisa, which is tough to get value with. You need to make sure that the other team isn't just playing around you, and as they tee off, you're taking a lot of damage, but Termbar getting a nice rotation.
Yeah, with this Orisa, you are going to get one thing that is sustain. Orisa does have a lot of survivability, but a beautiful pick from another one is going to even things out here on the defense, make it up a little 4v5, and easily Ethereal Alpha able to go in. I say easily, Sonda is not the kind of Sojourn to make it easy for you. You're going to get a beautiful trade there. You're going to get the big one. Kevin, maybe they're a bit too overzealous here, Gio.
Yeah, I think they maybe overstepped a little through that choke. Maybe thought they were just cleaning up, but they didn't realize that the... that was
scary things.
Odd.
Very odd.
Okay. Okay. No, yeah, it's during a fight. We can't pause, folks. That we cannot pause during a fight. Sonder is going to get taken out. Take out Neluzo, and yeah, this is a bit of an awkward one with that pause there, but nonetheless, it is looking like it is going to be Adderall, and that's going to be 2-0 there, and they will be going forward in the winners bracket, despite the technical difficulties at the end there.
Yeah, I think Ethereal Alpha really overstayed their welcome there on the low ground. You know, they tried to go down and take advantage, but they forgot about Sonda. You know, Sonda was there on the low ground, a bit further behind the team. With the railgun fully charged up, you have such good sightlines to Sojourn on this map, and it's not doable, right? You know, if you have Sonda looking down main, these high-level Sojourns, they're going to land their railgun shots. You cannot be that lenient with your positioning. So and yeah, I think that is kind of what had the downfall for Theory Alpha. I think they weren't respecting the Sojourn enough compared to Adderall. But yeah, I mean, not to say that there weren't moments for Theory Alpha. Definitely they did give us quite a good show. And I think they are a team to look out for in the losers.
For sure. Alpha are definitely a team that can bring it back. But you know, talking about Sonder, really came up big there at the end, and we've seen Sonder before, played in the GOATS edition of the arena. Noted as a handsome man from, and I probably will pronounce this because there's an accent on the A that I'm not familiar with, but Aland. Someone will correct me. I am uncultured swine. But peaked rank 303 on DPS this season. So not as high peaked as another one, but clearly still got a very keen skill set in the Sojourn. Very good at bringing those team fights back, even without the overclock. So a very key player there for Adderall, who are looking very nicely, and we're starting to get an idea of they might be heading to those grand finals.
I do think that what I find really funny, because I mean the main battle we were seeing here really was between the Hogs and the Sojourns, right? And I think it was funny because they had almost so on the side of Theory Alpha we had Kevin, who was a very consistent Hog player, and then Tembar, who was on the side of Adderall, who was way more of a pop-off Hog, you know. No, sorry, other way around. My bad. Kevin was much more of a pop-off Hog, getting a bunch of really good picks in times of crisis, especially on Colosseo. But Tembar was always landing those hooks. That's the essential thing, right? I think probably, I imagine like an 80% hook accuracy or something crazy like that, because we only saw a couple missed hooks. And then for the Sojourns, or the other way around, I think that Trippy was, I think it was the same deal. Not Trippy, what am I talking about? another one was a bit more of a consistent Sojourn, getting more damage in and kind of in the poke stage of the fights. I think doing a lot more for the team.
Well,
But Sonda, I mean, those railgun shots were just so precise, and that's
Yeah.
what it's all about. I mean, you can be as good at the mid fight as you want, but when it comes to those railgun shots, if you're not on point, the other Sojourn wins, and that is exactly what we saw. Sonda,
well,
absolutely fantastic.
we have a
plays.
bit of an interview here from Termbar, the tank player of Adderall. Hello and welcome, Termbar. Congratulations on the win. How are you guys feeling in this tournament? Are you feeling yourselves? Are you feeling like you're going to get there to the grand finals?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got very good energy. We're all ready to win. We've been scrimming for a good week now, ready for this. So yeah, I'm pumped. I think everyone else is pumped too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can certainly feel the energy for sure in the way that you guys have been playing. You brought back that push map very nicely there, and the Rotok comp seems to be really working in your favor. Is that a meta that's kind of naturally went in your favor, or is that something that you've just kind of worked on as a team?
Honestly, we generally run Winston a lot of the time, and I'm an Orisa one trick, so it's pretty hard. But we weren't really killing their Roadhog, so I thought as a joke we kind of mirror it, and it wasn't a joke anymore because we started doing pretty well. So yeah, it was pretty
Sorry,
good feeling.
that is extremely shocking. So you decided to mirror the hog as a joke.
Yeah, we've never scrimmed Hog before, but we weren't really finding value like killing him, I guess. So I just thought, what, we'll give it a go and see how it goes, and it went pretty well.
Wow,
Wow.
I didn't. Well, that's interesting.
I gotta say, despite that, you definitely did pretty well there with the Roadhog. Crumble, any questions?
Yeah, I mean, my main question is, what was the hook accuracy like? Because it didn't really seem like you were missing a lot of hooks.
I think it was like 71% at the end of the game, which was pretty nice.
That
Damn.
seems about right. That seems
That seems about right. Yeah, only a couple missed hooks in general there. So, I mean, I think if there's any one person on Ethereal Alpha that gave you and the rest of Adderall a bit of a hard time, who could you pinpoint that on? Because from our perspective, it seemed probably like another one was really difficult to deal with at some times, especially on Colosseo. Was there anyone that stood out to you? Any players that you were, maybe you appreciated how good they were playing, or that you were kind of nervous about on the side of Ethereal Alpha?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, another one was definitely getting kills and things, but I'd say, the biggest issue was probably Kevin. We had to change our whole comp around there, our, team play, communication, just everything. We had to, change up everything just for Kevin. So I'd say Kevin, he definitely threw a spanner in the works here for our team. But yeah, it was definitely a good run.
You're adapting mid-map is definitely a difficult thing to do, and it seems like you guys seem to be a team that are really good at adapting and being able to be a bit more versatile and play a few different compositions to counter your enemies, which is great. Gio, do you have any follow-up questions?
Yes, I just want to apologize to iVoxy, who I don't know which one of us dyslexic casters kept saying Ivory, but apparently we did. That's our fault. It's iVoxy.
Well, when you put two dyslexic casters in a tournament, you're gonna get that. I'm sorry.
You will get that, yeah, for sure. So I guess a final question then is, what are you guys gonna do with the money if you win the grand finals?
Good question.
Yeah, so I think we've kind of all mutually agreed we really want to go to Insomnia next year and compete at the LAN. So there's some players who are in Europe who might need help with travel fees. So any tournaments we might be able to pick up over the next couple of weeks, we'll definitely put towards getting them to the UK for Insomnia.
Oh,
Awesome.
Yeah, beautiful. That's
such a wholesome. That's such a wholesome. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, well, I wish you luck on your journey. We may just see you in that grand finals as your journey continues in the winners bracket. Thank you for joining us, and we may see you later.
All right, thank you very much, guys. I'll definitely be seeing you in the grand finals.
I love the
confidence.
All right, Crumble.
Exact same thing.
Yes, what a good match again. And it's, with these kind of tournaments, you do see a lot of 2-0s. That is the situation. And if we start to look at the bracket, we'll get a good idea of, what's unfolding here, what we're looking at, and the setup. And yeah, we can now see Everfrost EOS will be facing Adderall in the winners finals now. Of course, the winner of that match will be heading to the grand finals and will face whoever makes it through the losers bracket. And the next game that we are watching is Niam versus Ethereal Untitled. Which is in the losers bracket, because the winners final starts tomorrow, so you won't see Adderall until tomorrow. And now we are seeing another ethereal team in United. No, Untitled. Yes, Untitled. Someone typed it wrong. I swear that wasn't our fault. None of us can read today. Yeah,
None of us can read today.
Sorry about that. I swear we appreciate all the players, all the teams. This is just a quick
He's lying.
snafu.
Okay.
But before we go to a break again, I want to thank the sponsor of the prize pool of Community Gaming. It is the all-in-one platform to host tournaments, and this wouldn't be possible without them. Thank you very much. And don't go anywhere, folks, because there is still more action after this brief break. I'll see you soon. Hello, and welcome back, my folks. I don't know what this accent is, but welcome back
A
to...
very bad English one.
Oh, yes, I do indeed indubitably believe that this is the Arena Open SR division, and it is, in fact, sponsored by Community Gaming, who are offering the prize pool today. It's the all-in-one platform for all hosting of
Is this your
tournaments,
Crumble
Crumble.
impression? Is this your Crumble impression? Is that what you think I
Is this
sound
your
like?
Crumble impression?
Okay, that's goofy.
Okay, that's goofy.
Oh god.
It's a nice matchup here by Naum and Ethereal Untitled. Both these teams we've seen before. I've casted Ethereal Untitled quite a lot. We know them quite well. Of course, you know, it is the Ethereal team. You know, it is, well, was the top Ethereal team before Alpha. I don't want to stoke any flames. But they are up against someone who we have seen in none less the Farewell Tournament. They came third place in the Masters bracket. So these are teams that have played in tournaments before. These are teams that know what they're doing, and they're here to win some money. And we have seen, of course, some of these teams previously in this exact tournament. This exact tournament Crumble. They kicked out Ethereal Aurora and sent A51 team Budget Spitfire into the losers bracket in the Farewell tournament.
That's a big deal. Those are very high level teams. Coming in here, both teams have, unlike the last match where we saw the teams having a few more players than necessary, you know, if you want to mix things up, these teams have 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 supports. They know their players and they know what they're capable of. So we're probably likely to see some really good versatility from all these players if they are all just on the main roster, just simple as. Not a lot of notes about these teams really that we can see.
Well, Untitled were also third in their own bracket.
Yeah.
The open SR bracket of the Farewell tournament. They were actually knocked out by the ones who won by Dundee. So.
Oh yeah, of course.
Good. Yeah. So yeah, we have good players here, good teams, and certainly going to be an interesting matchup for sure in the losers bracket.
Bracket.
That is a racket. Turn down the bracket. Do we have a scene for the losers bracket then? That we can possibly have a look.
Wait. HQ.
HQ. Over.
Hello.
But yeah, the losers bracket has some, of course, names that we know. It's nice to see Yoinkers back around and playing, but they are unfortunately out of the tournament, as you can see.
Yeah.
We can see some of these teams have been unfortunately knocked out. Team Mochi,
Milkmaid, no.
Team Mochi, which is a partner of Niam, has been taken out by Ethereal Untitled. So I guess you could say if Niam beats Untitled, it's actually revenge for their partner team.
Yeah. I guess you could say that. One team that we have seen a lot, or at least I remember have seen them a lot in past tournaments and scrims and just all the time kind of around A51 is oh wait, is that Pixies or Team Pixies? I'm not sure. I think that's a different team than Team Pixie, isn't it?
What?
Pixies in the losers bracket. That's a different team.
Pixie, yeah, that is not from the Pixel org. Yeah, so it is a different Pixies that you're thinking of. Yes.
Never mind. So we are here on. There's been a lot of different pronunciations that I've heard of this map, but I've been calling it Esperanza.
The announcer says, "Welcome to Esperanza."
Oh, Esperanza. Okay. What are we expecting to see here on this map, Gio?
Ball. I'm going to boldly predict ball, and I'm wrong. Gongi is a ball one trick. Apparently his team hates him for it, but seems like has actually went on to the other ball, the meatball, the pork chop, the Roadhog comp. coming out from Ethereal Untitled. Niam sticking with the Banana Rush. So now we're going to see how these two different compositions play up against each other. We saw a bit on Galesio, and it didn't go so well for the Banana Rush. Now it could be a different story here on Esperanza.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, these prolonged fights may help the Monkey and the high ground as well. You know, Monkey can kind of play into these high grounds that we see a lot more present on Esperanza. Looking already for the engage here through on top of trying to look for the Reaper, it seems. Vista being forced back just a little bit. Looks like point control is in the favor of Niam from the start. That trace from the back is going to be a really thorn in the side, but not as big a one as Beachow's getting that beautiful first railgun pick onto the Sojourn. We love seeing these Sojourns who's used just to keep their Sojourn up. But when you get that Kiriko, I mean, that is a huge amount of healing for the team. So I mean, the picks are coming back and forth here. I mean, Gongi is here on the reef, on the Hog, doing great things keeping this fight alive.
Yeah, Festa sent into the Shadow Realm there by the Roadhog, and the Banana Rush you see struggling against the pick oriented composition of the Hog. And there's Beach House finding chickens. Wait, chickens! We know chickens. We like chickens. We like that player. Now on the back foot, Banana Rush kind of struggling here. And you see actually Dragon Breath incredibly ahead of X Fairy at the moment in terms of the ult bank for the Kitsune Rush, and we could see that come out. But No Shame has actually moved over to the Orisa now, so it's kind of like a horse rush.
Yeah, and Chicken's actually onto the Honor, so not really a rush. You don't have that Lucio. Oh no. Oh, he switched the ball. Oh no.
I predicted it.
You predicted it, you really did. Some nice variation. I mean, when you have one tank player, you're more likely to kind of have a more versatile player, but it was not versatile. The 100% social pick rate, and that is because it's such a good character in the early fight to get these great opening picks, and that is exactly what Beach House is going to do for the side with Hero Untitled. And they're going to be getting a lovely amount of picks here. They got the lead, and they're looking pretty strong.
Yeah, Times 3 Fairy has kind of almost caught up with her Kitsune Rush there. Dragon Breath, though, still has theirs ready and could be used. No Shame and Chickens switching back. Niam a bit of uncertainty about how to play this, and the ball going deep onto the back line and going to force out some resources, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, the dive comes in onto the high ground from their on time, and yet again, Beach House is getting these early picks, whilst Gongi is absolutely, distracting the hell out of the front line, so that the Sojourn can't actually, on the enemy team, get the value they want to. He was just wiggling around in front of the Sojourn, so the Sojourn can't really do anything. So I guess that is where the value of the ball comes in. So engaged there, the front line, and it just looks like this man on the Sojourn.
Beach House is just dominating this field right now, and I mean we knew this was going to happen with the Sojourns. If there was any real gap between the Sojourn players, it was going to be very apparent, and right now Beach House is really making it look like they are very keen with that railgun shot. All the ultimates ready from Untitled basically here. Niam, they've
and again! And again, Beach House making these bodies wash up on shore, taking everyone home. And they're going to be able to just... The picks are just so in the favor. It's so one-sided right now. It is 105 meters to 3.2, and it is not looking good. And also, let me just say, look at the ult bank for a Hero Untitled. It is so good here, and mainly want to point out Beach House with the Umpog. That's not something to take lightly. Here comes the engage.
Yeah, Kitsune Rush coming out from Times 3 Fairy, but not actually met with Dragon Breath. Vista trying to turn it around, but yeah, it's not going to be enough. They really didn't commit their ultimates enough there, I think, in that fight. And Beach House again, utterly dominant.
Yeah, I mean, the Sojourn differential is something that is, like you said, can be very, very noticeable here. Beat comes out, trying to sustain this fight, and that's all support ultimates on the line there for Niam on the objective here. But really, I mean, after all time, they don't have anything to lose here.
It's right now it's a slaughter, and it's not changing anytime soon. Gongi on the main here of Ball is getting so much value, getting so much resources out of them. Vista actually getting elimination, but it's not going to be enough. Oh my crumble!
That was a quickish render.
Ethereal Untitled came here with a blood first.
Yeah. Gongi, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, Bull is objectively a worse tank, but I gotta say, Gongi was making it look like that was not the case, making it look like Bull was better with the amount of value they got here on the ball. It's so surprising and very impressive, I will say, because Bull is definitely on paper not a good tank at the moment compared to some of the other tanks. So good on them. I mean, if you're gonna make it work, if you're good at something, stick to it. I mean, why not?
And Beach House, you know, I know Beach House for Space Song, because Beach House is a duo. It's secret. But Beach House in this scrim is a Sojourn player. Sojourn player that probably has at least 70% accuracy with the railgun shot. I don't know if I saw one miss, but every time one came out, an enemy hero was taken out. And if Hero Untitled look so dominant right now that I'm a little scared for what's next.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit scared for the sake of Nyam a little bit. Is that how it's pronounced? Nyam? Nyam? Nyam. Nyam.
It's like, there's a cat logo, so it's like
Nyam. Yeah. So I feel bad for them a little bit because it is. I mean the SR difference is a little bit higher. So Ethereal Untitled are a 4K team, whereas Nyam are only I believe a 3.7K team SR average. We did see before that, you know, we have seen previously that, you know, an SR average difference doesn't always mean everything, but so far in this series it is really showing, because the difference between these Sojourn players is unreal. Not to say that the Sojourn on the side of Nyam is not good at Sojourn, it's just that Beach House is utterly dominant, which is really what you want to see from a Sojourn player.
Yeah.
What a dominant DPS, just in general. On Hollywood, however, you might see something different coming out. You know, you've got some more long sidelines. Maybe you play a sniper, maybe play an Ashe, maybe play a Widow. You never know. You know, second point could be good for that, but we will see what these teams play.
The magic of Hollywood is alive and well for sure, and you know, once upon a time in Hollywood, Ethereal Untitled did play ball. But, you know, we will see. And I have to say, like, yes, Beach House got a lot done, but Gongi's got so many resources out with the ball. And the ball one trick, you expect that. That's what ball is basically all about. Rolling in, getting those abilities out, getting some cooldowns out, and then rolling out, giving your advantage to your team in terms of abilities. And it's so important right now in Overwatch 2. The resources are even more important because you've got a whole hero less than you used to have. It's a whole lot less abilities on the field. So every ability matters just a little bit more, right? Every ability is a little bit more impactful. So if they're drawn out by a nice ball player, then it's going to be very nice.
Yeah. Oh god, take me back to your swamp then.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I imagine.
donkey.
Okay, donkey. Yeah, I imagine that Nyam want to try and just play what they've, you know, learned over the, you know, probably scrimming in Overwatch 2, which a lot of the teams have just really tried to stick to what seems to be the meta, which is this monkey comp. I mean, I say that. We've seen a lot of Hog after this most recent patch, right? Like, a lot of Hog. And Gongi's happy about it, clearly.
Hello.
Yeah, it's Roadhog again. Love it or hate it, folks, it's a Roadhog meta. I'm sure, you know, there's plenty of people that are happy about it. I'm not a Hog player, so I guess I'm not against it, but I'm not for it, you know? So we will see. But again, it's against the Banana Rush, and it just didn't work last time for Neum against what Untitled are playing here, so it's going to be tough. Even with Rednaz on the Ana, a very diveable target for the Banana Rush, still really in favor of Untitled.
Look at the damage. Like, with one right click, you're getting half the health gone down. Hook, though, missed by Gongi. A lot of resources with that hog. That stun ability is really important. Wonderful pick there. Beautiful headshot onto Thirst there. On the Tracer. No. Okay, well, that's just Gongi hitting a beautiful hook there onto the Kiriko. Lots of heals from Yum. Now they are only with the Lucio heals. And there's another one for him. Yeah, okay. I thought another one was in our last matchup, but apparently it is right here with us still. There's another one, and another one, and another one here for Gongi on the hog. Bit of a nice evener out here from Hassan. And oh, what a railgun shot here.
Absolutely deadly accurate with the railgun shot. Keeping the team alive. Hassan has done absolute wonders here. Just be careful of the range against the Cassidy there. You don't want to be getting hit by the new Magnate, which is basically impossible to miss. First is on the back line, actually. Is on point 2. Kind of doing a bit of a sneaky. But Fista doesn't really mind about doing the duel here. Is still focused on the rest of the team. They do need to watch their backline, however, as First at any point could collapse upon them from behind.
Yeah, Fista's going to have to be careful of that hog. Don't want to get hooked up because that is an instant GG no re. So, dive coming out here from No Sham. Yeah, they've spotted the Ana and the Cassidy. They want to look to engage. But when you are diving, you're going to be leaving your backline absolutely vulnerable. And Dragonbreath is going to be taken out by Thirst. Doing so much damage. He's going to take out one of the supports. Absolutely pressuring the hell out. Another one. Ooh, nearly caught the Lucio there. But, I mean, how good does it be if you're pinned up against the wall by a whole hog? Massive value there, Gongi, and another big. So much damage here on the hog.
Yeah.
And if they're Untitled, going to take this one cleanly.
I have to imagine that Untitled, that Niam didn't actually know that First was behind, because if they did, I imagine they would have played that different, because they really left themselves exposed to that flank, and that flank was everything for the side of Untitled, who are now setting up on this high ground, trying to take control. But of course, Niam, they do have some key win condition ultimates here, with most importantly the Kitsune Rush. X, the Attention Fairy does have their own though, so it could be something to look out for.
Recall gone for this Vista. He's tried to look for maybe a pulse bomb opportunity, but got baited out there by Beach House on the Cassidy. Great aim here. Kitsune Rush does come out from both sides, but that's a great pick. Kiriko getting taken out on the side of Zero United. And they're pushing nice and deep here, trying to find this backline. Beautiful stick though, and Gongi is going to be able to even things out. But the picks are going back and forth. Gongi is able to get 2 in this fight, keeping things alive for the side of Ethereal Untitled. Although No Shame is still alive, as well as the Tracer. They do have a bit of an opportunity to maybe contest the car here, but Gongi is such a fearful opponent, and they just want to respect him as much as possible.
Yeah, Gongi is really so keen at getting that space for the rest of the team, and you can see that. And for Niam, they don't have too much. They do have this Primal Rage, which is why you see No Shame going so deep. Pulse Bomb comes out, and it's a mess, but that's a hook! Just save!
Oh, the Suzu Bang saves himself, and Dragon Breath gets the step away. No Shame is going to be here with the Primal, gets 1 pick. Suzu Bane out there on the back line. No nade for the side of Ethereal Untitled. That's no sustain. Is going to get taken out there, but the damage will have been done. That's 2 picks in the favor. But Chickens, where is he? He's in the front line of Ethereal Untitled. That's 2 picks for Gongi. And although it looks good for Niam at the start of this fight, things are being turned around by the Roadhog on the side of Ethereal Untitled yet again.
Yeah, I gotta say, Untitled are just looking so keenly strong here, and that whole hog is gonna be the main factor in this fight. Absolutely grinding No Shame into absolute shards here. It's monkey for dinner, and it's minced monkey.
It's minced monkey for dinner, absolutely. Yeah, I do think No Shame is having a really difficult time. It's gonna be switching on to the Diva. Definitely a better pick here to counter this hog. That defense matrix can serve well at countering Gongi whenever he lands a little hook. You kind of have to play really peely though, you know, against that hog as Diva, so you don't have a lot of time to be aggressive. So going to be leaving possibly Fista and Hassan in a little bit of a tricky situation because they don't have a tank to help them with these engages a lot of the time.
Absolutely. Shame on the Diva looking to get something done. Overclock going to be pulled here, but the Nano onto Gongi. That's devastating. The boss music's playing at stage 2 and it's not looking good. Beach House with the Magnate onto Hassan and taking out Vista. Somebody check NPC. It's so accurate with even the Peacemaker here, never mind the railgun, and they know something's amiss. They don't quite know where the Divas went. And Grumble, it's the final fight here on the third point. You know, for how dominant the push map was, you know, part of me was expecting maybe a possibly bigger time bank than what they currently have. Not to snuff at 2 minutes 11 on Hollywood. That's a good time bank. That is a very good time bank. But it's, you know, definitely shown that Niam can slow the attack and can get things done on their defense. But now on their attack, they do have to watch out for the hook. Because if No Shame goes even a little bit too deep, even makes the most minuscule mistake and a hook lands, that's the attack over, and it can't be recovered from there. And I know that they're probably playing the Tracer for the bug, or the player is, you know, good at the character, but I do just think maybe the Reaper would just get more value, be able to eat the hog a little faster instead of all the nibbles that Tracer's been doing.
Yeah, that is a really good point. I also realized that I was muted for that last fight. So you said, and so what's going on here, Crumble? And then it's just pure science for about 20 seconds.
That is funny.
Apologies for that, folks. That is funny. Apologies for that. You guys can hear me, but yeah, I do think you're right. The Reaper would maybe be a better option, but it seems that Fista might just be comfortable on this Tracer, or is looking to abuse Hook. So yeah, on the high ground, we see Gongi being placed here. He's going to be looking for an early hook. But yeah, Beach House is there, and they're going to get a pick.
Yeah, nice early pick there into Hassan. It's not every day you see a team not choose Sojourn these days, but still Beach House getting value with the Cassidy. That's the level of play from Beach House as a player. But Dragon Breath is going to get taken out by first, and that defense has been torn apart, and quick enough that none of them really built any key ultimates to bar those win condition ultimates, as Time Sweet Fairy is ahead in the Kitsune Rush department.
I draw the lovers.
Yeah, it is ahead of the Kitsune Rush department. You're absolutely right. Ethereal and Title do have a lot going for them here. You know, Gongi has been getting fantastic hooks, and Beach House doesn't seem to miss. The engage comes onto the high ground here from No Shame.
Hassan going up big with the railgun. An absolute wonder on the Sojourn here, really opening up for their team. But Gongi is going to find a hook with the Dragon Breath, keep pick, but now the Ana of Fresnaz is going to be in a lot of trouble. Gongi now getting torn down, and I smell it, Crumble. It's cooked pork.
It is cooked pork, and yeah, it almost looks like it's going to be a 5k here from Hassan, possibly. Pulseman comes out, but to no avail here for the Tracer. It was a 5k in that fight, including respawns. So yeah, great stuff here from the Sojourn on the side of Nyam, showing this is why you play the Sojourn. You know, for that railgun, just so much more versatility than the Cassidy. Yes, the mag grenade is very annoying, but nothing is more annoying than a Sojourn landing all of their railguns. And we're getting forced out quite a lot here, and the high ground taken really comfortably by Nyam.
Absolutely. Yeah, they do have a decent time bank. The 4 minutes, like you said, very good here. Beach House, though, doesn't like Fista being alive. Just really takes grievance to it. But No Shame finding first has equalized on the Tracer field. No Tracers in play. And Gongi, oh, what an aggressive play.
The Nano! No, I thought he cancelled the beat. Okay, that I thought I saw the motion of the Lucio bringing up his weapon. That was that was really bad. Yeah, Nyam. Yes, they do nearly have 5 ultimates, but what that really shows is that their ult economy has just not been good so far. It shows they haven't really rotated their ults properly, and you don't ever really want a bloated ult bank because it just shows that you're kind of being killed so early that you're not even getting a chance to use them or set up for them. I think on title they do have the continuing rush to maybe match the support ult on the side of Nyam, and here it comes.
Yeah, the Kitsune Rush, big ult comes out, stuck the pulse bomb, but the primal comes out. That's gonna be a space-making opportunity here, but Rednaz is actually finding Hassan getting the better of the sniper duel from the support category. No shame finding Beach House now, putting Rednaz under some trouble. Needs to back up though, the health pool not looking so healthy here, and Gongi continuing. Oh, escaped that one.
Yeah, Gongi's been a little confused about that one. And yeah, I'm able to take a little bit of the momentum, pushing cart a little bit here, but okay. Well, Gongi's in your backline. You gotta look for him. You gotta look for him. Now, what are you doing? He's he's charging up this whole hog so quickly already, 60% to another one, and they're down there Lucio. They don't really have someone to help them kite, so they need to back off here. Yeah, but really looking shaky here. It just seems like Gongi is able to just collapse, like just deconstruct their team, like a fancy old chef, and make things so difficult for them. And yeah, even though they had ultimates, they just weren't able to win that fight, which is like I said, telling of why they even had the bloated ult bank in the first place. But here's the engage from No Shame.
Yeah, and like a famous chef, they're making Nyam look like a Indian sandwich. Gordon Ramsay aside, as a beat coming out here from Nyam to sustain this attack, sorry.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, Beach House is actually going to utilize the high noon traffic there to fight Festa. And yeah, this attack did not go the way that they wanted. Gonki is straight vibing on the Roadhog right now.
Oh wow.
Meanwhile, Beach House is just the slickest shooter in the West.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not often you really see in this meta Cassidy working so well, but it is just the aim. Beach House has showed us such good mechanical prowess, as well as Gongi. I mean, I feel like if they're on title, they're just on another level sometimes. Beautiful hook from Gongi, and that is the Kiriko gone. I mean, what can you even do?
Yeah, there's nothing really to be done when you lose a Kiriko that early in a fight, other than just back up and take the next fight. You cannot engage as a 4v5. It's just nothing that is going to be suitable for you, and especially when Dragon Breath is so close to that Kitsune Rush, it's your win condition ultimate coming up, especially since there's no beat.
Again, and here comes the hog. Just absolute disrespect from the man on the big meat machine. I mean, oh god, this is okay. This is nuts. This is not okay.
Oh, reminiscent of
God.
last night. The Hogs are very much in the ego department for sure. It is something to be a wonder. Forget guerrilla warfare. It's hog warfare. Always in your backline. Always getting those hooks and messing up with your plans. Lots of ultimates though for both sides. It's really going to be a massive clash here in this final fight.
Yeah, support ultimates are online here, nearly for Nyam. They nearly have that, the Kitsune Rush here, but one from Ethereal Title is going to carry them in this fight. What a shot from Beach House! Oh, it's just unreal. And it's not even a competition with 4 seconds remaining, Gio. Can they even get a touch? It doesn't look like it.
Well,
Easy win.
Untitled will be taking the win. And Nyam, they were the underdogs, right? And despite that, they still gave a fight. They were competitive in Hollywood. It wasn't completely a control, a stomp by Untitled, but you know, the team that you would expect to win won here. So condolences to Nyam as they will be eliminated from the tournament, but thank you for being part of the tournament nonetheless. And Untitled, they're looking nice and strong there. They're looking pretty good on the Roadhog.
Yeah, Gonki is definitely someone to watch out for. I mean, a hog that can land. I mean, really, what you want, what you want in this meta, as it is really shaping out to be really hog dominant. You want a hog that can land their hooks, and you want a Sojourn that can hit their railgun shots. And really, on the side of Ethereal Untitled, that is exactly what Gongi and Beach House did. Even to the point where Beach House was just switching to the cast. You know, hitting shots is what this meta is all about at the moment. All about that mechanical prowess. So much different to the Monkey Cult we've been seeing over the past month or so. So, you know, it's different, and I think it's It's always nice to have a shift in the meta, and it's definitely working in the favor of Ethereal Untitled.
Yeah, I mean, you know, while Hog is getting a lot of play at the higher level, of course, the higher level is always going to have more of like a set kind of meta, because you know when you're playing all the heroes at the highest level, like we're seeing from these 4K plus teams, you know, it is a little bit more like a jail than it is for, you know, the lower level teams in Diamond, even Masters. It's not, you know, so hard set. But yeah, the Hog looking quite nice here, giving those tank players basically big old fat DPS to play about with, and I'm sure none of them are going to be complaining about that. Crumble, he's dead. Crumble's gone. But you know, in fact, you know, I think it's a very good clash. The Banana Rush versus, I don't know if there's a name for the Hog comp yet. I haven't really been checking. If someone knows in chat that's a little bit higher level than me, you can certainly tell me what's up. Oh, welcome back, Crumble. No worries, my man. We're chill. Well, you were kind of snapped out of existence, so for now, I'm solo, but we'll get you back in here, and we may be getting a little bit of an interview tonight from one of them. I will be hearing back from our from the tournament staff here at Arena 51 soon. But yeah, our condolences to Naeum, a 3-year-old title. They're looking very strong, of course. It was third place of Masters Farewell versus third place of Open SR Farewell. So it's pretty much going to be, you know, what we saw there. And we can bring Crumble back into this fold. He's alive again. Bring him back. Crumble.
I'm pixely, but I'm here.
Let's do it.
I'm pixely.
Okay, the players need to get groceries. You know what? Real life exists, right? And real life matters. Real life matters.
Oh my god! It is. Oh my god, that's sick. That's so cool. I can see it. I can see it real life. It's right there. It's right there.
Whoa!
At my window. Do you see that?
Yeah, I'm looking at your window right now.
You see that? There's a person on the street. You see that?
Wait, hold on. Is that Heller? But yes, that'll basically be the end of today's broadcast and the tournament as well. So let's have a little last look at the bracket. Have a little idea of of what we've seen. Yes, the bracket.
NA Crumble. Thanks a lot.
The losers bracket is looking like there's going to be an ethereal clash tomorrow. Ethereal Alpha versus Ethereal Untitled. Kind of like working out who really is the alpha between those teams. Yeah. That's an interesting story in itself. The other round 3 losers bracket doesn't seem to have finished up yet between Obsidian and Athnalarm, but they will be going to face the Raiders themselves, the House of Vikings.
Yeah, well, I mean, Athnalarm so far in their previous loser bracket round, in round 2, they absolutely sweeped Pixies with a 2-0. So it is unlikely that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been a long match though, so
yeah.
so possibly it might be the case that, I mean, it might be a close match here, but probably gonna see that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's looking good for tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow we'll see some teams return, like Untitled, like Alpha, and of course Adderall, who we saw get to that winners bracket. And it's a good idea of what we will be seeing going into, you know, the grand finals of this tournament. And it's a good to start to kind of thin the herd a bit and get to the real meat, you know, the teams that are just hungrier and maybe a little bit higher in the level. But we lied to you. There is actually a player that doesn't need groceries.
Wow.
Welcome to the interview, Weevil.
Hello.
Who were you in this matchup?
I was the coach for Untitled.
Ah, I see.
I see. So you must be. Well, yeah. What's your mindset here with Untitled now in the losers bracket?
So we had a pretty rough first game. I think we weren't fully switched on yet. It was a bit early for all of us. We're a more late night team, I suppose.
That's fair.
Yeah, we've had a pretty rough start. Our hit scan player at the moment, our Sojourn player, Beach House, I think it is what he's playing under. Is a sub actually. We've had 3 scrims with him because our usual DPS player is busy focusing on his exams at the moment. So it's a bit of a scrape together team. We're kind of just vibe and see how it goes, and,
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, you're used to like scrimming, much later in the night. It is worth mentioning for these daytime tournaments that the players, they don't typically play early. I'm sure some of them do have the gamer time zone set where they kind of wake up a bit later. That was a nice ball fight pop up there. But moving into the next match, I can't help but notice, Weevil, it's Ethereal Untitled versus Ethereal Alpha. That should be a clash of the org. What are you thinking that matchup might show?
Well, we scrimmed them yesterday. It didn't go so hot, I'm not gonna lie. But that's okay. I'd rather lose a scrim and win the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got their number now. We know what they're gonna do. I'm sure we'll be able to show up and have a good performance.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they are a little bit higher in the average SR, so Untitled are gonna be the underdogs in that matchup. But it will be an interesting clash for sure. Crumble, any thoughts?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know on behalf of them, but do you know what Ethereal Untitled are planning to do if they do win the 100 Urinos?
I don't think. I'm not gonna lie. There's a chance that some of the players don't even know that there's a prize pool. I know some of them didn't know that there was a losers bracket. So I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't even considered that. I know our main tank and our flex support, they're a couple, and they were very eager to get this game over and done with because they need to go get groceries. So maybe they'll spend it on groceries.
Oh,
well, that's a very real life thing to spend on for sure. Yeah, and just want to reiterate, the $100 is not first place. First place gets 55, second place 30, then third 50.
I see.
That's how it's split. But yes, we will be possibly seeing Untitled tomorrow. Hopefully, the players will be able to switch themselves on nice and early, as they obviously have a match at 1 o'clock again. So I wish you guys luck in your Ethereal battle, the Battle of Ethereal.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the interview.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Rumble. Sponsored by Community Gaming, which is the all-in-one place to host tournaments.
So true.
It's beautiful. It's great stuff. We love to see it.
Heartwarming.
Yeah, I remember like when we talk about prize pools, sometimes we like talk about, people might buy some pizza or whatever. 55 split 5 ways if that's how they do it and they don't pay their coach lol. That's $10 each, but like we've seen some interesting wholesome reasons to want to get that money.
It's 11 each, actually. First of all,
Yes, it is 11. I couldn't do the maths, so I was like, it's like 10.
That took me too long as well to debunk that. I was like,
to debunk it. It
Yeah.
wasn't a conspiracy theory. It was an
Is
estimation.
Is it? Maybe. Here's a. Actually, no, never mind. I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah. No. I mean, Hey, you can get a pizza with a fiver, depending on where you look. Hey, Tesco basic pieces, you know.
Yeah, but I guess
Yeah.
I'm not Tesco basic like you.
I am. Okay, I'm a
Other
Tesco
supermarkets
trooper.
are available, by the way.
We are, but no, okay.
But alas, that is the end of the broadcast today. I have been Gio, been casting for you, and thank you, Dan, for producing, and for the other casters today. Thank you for the tournament staff for putting it together. Thank you to the teams for participating. And Grumble, any last words?
Good luck tomorrow, guys. It's going to be a fantastic, fantastic few maps that we're going to see and some crazy matches. I'm sure everyone's really looking forward. I know I am too. Not the ethereal, if you want a community clash, but the ethereal team clash. So it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing Crumble with you here at A51. And check out tomorrow for the second half, where it's going to be absolute bangers all the way. It'll be those final matchups, and don't miss it for anything. Good night, folks. Don't forget to laugh loud and love yourself. See you tomorrow.
Took a walk among the stars tonight. Found myself a washing colored light. It felt like spirits had awakened me. This carnival of animals had taken me. They danced around me and they took my hand, whispered, close your eyes and understand. When I felt the change, it startled